The show will start in 15 seconds, and this is your last audible warning.
Previously on the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Arguably, it's a little long. I would have maybe shaved it down a little bit had I had a say-so in it. But breaking it up to 3 parts, I think is going to really do well. And guess what? It's free.
Can't beat that.
So everybody that didn't buy it or rent it on Apple TV or Amazon Prime, and you knew eventually that we would roll it out for free, well, now your day has come. Wednesday, July 22nd on Tubi, video killed the radio star for free.
Wow. You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Broadcast rights for the Bubba the Love Sponge Show have been granted to this station by the Bubba Radio Network and is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this production without the express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
He's slowing down on the backstretch. Oh, no. Oh, no.
That's for Team USA right there, my friend. What in the hell happened?
I want my 2 hours back.
Oh, no. He's slowing down on the backstretch.
I mean, we make all this big fuss. By the way, the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, Tuesday, July 7th, 2026. Yesterday was the USA versus Belgium World Cup. Was it sweet? It was Sweet 16, right? Because the teams that made it here now, they were vying to make it to the Elite Eight. And that's the furthest I think the USA has ever made it before, is the Elite Eight, I think. I don't know. Maybe the 1930 team made it to the 4. I don't know.
Yeah, they finished third in 1930 or 32.
So in 1932, which is, by the way, the year of my dad's antique Fords. Yeah. He's got a 3-window coupe, a Roadster, a two Roadsters, a Phaeton, and a B400. My father does. In his 1932 Ford collection. So anyway, make a long story short, the last time we had any type of team was 1932, and we made it to the Final Four. We beat that team. I don't even know how they determine third place, because unless they
play a consolation round.
Oh, they do.
They play a consolation game between the two losers in the semifinals.
So third and fourth. The two teams that got beat for the finals do play to see who distinctively gets third and fourth.
I believe so.
Yeah, unlike the NCAA, that once you could say you got third, but the other team could say they got third too, but they don't play each other.
And they probably should.
They probably should, because
why not? You know what I mean? They got those. They got them all there. They're at the same. They're at the same facility.
Maybe play them the night before. Maybe the national championship should be on Tuesday night instead of Monday, because Monday is the third and fourth place team.
Or just have them play the next day. They'll be okay.
Well,
they'll have them play Sunday.
Nobody's going to care about that.
Well, no one cares about them anyway.
You're talking about, but it has to be before the national championship.
Right, national championship Monday, and then consolation game Sunday.
Right.
So no, it looks like what they did with 1930 was they just took how many goals for, how many goals against.
Do they play now though?
I don't.
They still don't.
Yeah,
do they still go by the same format where they go, okay, when whoever had the most goals, or I guess maybe difference of goals, is now the third place guy. Statistically, the better team gets third and the worst team gets fourth. Do they still do that?
Yeah, it looks like that's what they're still doing.
Oh, okay. All right. Well, there you go. But I think we're not completely in the conversation. What happened? No. First of all, guys, I'm not going to sit here and be Johnny-come-lately and act like all of a sudden I'm interested in the World Cup, because I'm not. I have not watched 1 second of it. And so, but you guys have, a lot of America has. Now, when's the last time, wasn't it 2002?
Yes.
That we as a country hosted the World Cup, right? Well,
No, 02 is our best, where they went to the quarterfinals and finished 8th.
Okay.
I believe that was in Japan.
When did we last host?
94?
Oh, in 94.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Okay. So it takes like 20 plus years for them to.
We'll only do it every 4 years, right?
Well, the World Cup's
Cup,
every
yeah.
4 years. So
It's like Olympics. I mean, you can only get it so many times.
is it bigger than the Olympics?
No, it's not. But it's just as big almost. I mean, it's massive. It's international, and the if you think about it, the way America did it, some countries have like a stadium or two, and they try to cram all the matches in those couple stadiums. We spread it out throughout the entire North America, so many cities got to really enjoy the economic boost of it, and also we got to show off a lot of cities.
Now, do we have, as a country, more stadium facilities than most just because we have...
in the world?
Yeah, well, just because we have more sports, meaning like more outdoors. Well, I guess
Football.
you'd attribute it to football, college and pro, because even though they played in pro facilities, Dan, they could have very well played at Penn State or Michigan or Alabama.
Definitely.
These facilities that are actually in most cases larger than, because the NFL has a template where they like to be between like 85 and 65.
Yeah, I agree.
They don't like
100.
They don't like the Death Valley or the Horseshoe or how many? Isn't there like maybe 5 or 6 stadiums in college football that has 6-figure seating capacity? I know Michigan does. I know Penn State does.
Tennessee.
I know Tennessee does. I know Ohio State does. Maybe Texas A&M. I don't know, but I know those 4. I know Tennessee, Michigan, Ohio State, and Penn State are all over 100.
And then you got Texas A&M.
Texas A&M's 5.
102, LSU Stadium.
Okay, 6.
And Texas Stadium has 100. Alabama has 100.
That's 8.
And that's it.
That's it. So there's 8 stadiums in collegiate football that has over 100,000.
Crazy.
I don't think there's anybody in the NFL that has over 100,000. In fact, I think I know.
Yeah. There's not.
There's not. I think if you do NFL largest capacity stadiums, a list, oddly enough, people, and I've said this on the show before, but Lambeau Field is like 4th or 5th out of the 31. Is it 31 teams or 30?
32.
32. Out of the 32 teams, Lambeau Field, I think the oldest facility. I think the oldest facility. Maybe next to
Soldier. It is the oldest continuously operating NFL stadium.
So, and what are they at? Like
81,441.
81,441.
They're second.
They're second?
Yes.
Dan, you'd lose that. Everybody would lose that bet if somebody said, hey, man, Lambeau Field is the oldest continuing operated, NFL franchise, facility. And where do you think they rate in capacity? Well, you'd think automatically when you think old, what do you think? Small.
Actually, it's been the opposite, because when they revise stadiums, they take out seating to make more boxes and more money, luxury boxes and things like that.
They added to Lambeau, because Lambeau initially, I think, was like 46,000, and then they just kept adding up and up with boxes and a big end zone deal and things like that. Where's the Bucks at? Like 65,000?
Something like that. It was like 63, and they may have upped it to like 65, 66.
Now,
it's not.
Now, Lummy, with the newfound, the Glazers have their hands out again.
Of course they do.
And they just, 10, 12 years ago, Dan, you would know because your box may have gotten remodeled when they did the last remodel, right?
So at 15, I think, so about 10, 11 years.
Yeah, they did.
So every time they do it, I think every time they do a remodel for a stadium, they always include the luxury boxes because they want to give those guys more amenities and be able to charge them more. Because that's where the big money is.
All they need to do is improve the catering. It would be a much better experience.
Yeah, because I've been in your box since the post renovation in 15, and realistically, like aesthetically, it's beautiful.
Yeah,
like,
there's not much much you need to change? We just going to change the walls, change the carpet. It's not going to make a difference.
Maybe update the flat screen TVs to maybe a little bit bigger ones that are maybe just. Right?
There's not much to do. It's literally like just a polish here and there.
Maybe just upgrade the electronics. That's it. Maybe put some USB charging stations in there, because everybody's got a cell phone. And I was actually at where the Colts played, 2 years ago when Warsaw was playing in the state championship, and they have it down where they have the high school state championships where the Colts play. And so my buddy Rico had a box at the time, and Dan, they had this really cool USB charging station for up to 16 phones. And it was very unique. It was like you just laid them on this little pad, and it could charge anything. So, I think that if the Bucks were to do a remodel, really within the luxury box world, like you said, fix your food, throw a new TV or two up, and maybe a USB charging station, and you're fine. The bathrooms are beautiful. The
bathrooms are perfect.
The cabinetry is beautiful.
Everything's nice.
The countertops are granite. Like, everything's good. The seats are plush and leather. The railing, everything's good. Just give us better food. Maybe a couple new, bigger flat screen TVs and a USB charging station. That's all you got to do to the big boys. Now,
they need to get rid of Aramark because they suck. And I agree with Cooper Lips on this.
What do they need to do with regards to the people like you that sit in the club level, the next level down from boxes? I know that you've had season tickets for a long time. Is there a lot of improving that needs to go there? Or that seems fairly streamlined too, how you have access to that one air conditioning area. You can get your food easier. It seems like that's streamlined. I don't know I don't really know what's left to do. What's left to make
food. That's all it is.
Food and convenience, making things go quicker.
Yeah, it's ridiculous. How slow it is for the lines, and the people there that serve you the food suck, and the food itself sucks.
I don't know if
it's the worst food of any stadium I've ever been to.
I don't know if you need,
except Trop.
$350 million in renovations.
Well, $1 billion is what they're looking for.
They're looking for $1 billion.
Yes.
I don't know what $1 billion can do unless you're going to hire a pack of Somalis to come in and everybody has their own food concierge. I don't know.
They'd be better off with a bunch of food trucks. What they need to do, Bubba, is
talking about $1 place.
What they need to do,
or Ray J Stadium,
is they need to do something like SoFi. What's the one in Miami?
Oh, Hard Rock.
Hard Rock Stadium. And build a sail. Hard Rock built a tent. They need to build a sail, and they should make it an angled sail on the west side that comes up about 45 degrees that would shade the entire west side and cast shade on the east side.
Yep.
And that would cost probably, $20 million, $30 million. And change the catering, and then you got the best stadium in Tampa.
Probably
in
would
Florida.
be more like, because the roof replacement in the Trop was $70 million. So
like $100 million.
Let's call it $100 million for the world's best sail.
Right.
And that instantaneously puts the people on the west side. That gives you a 20-degree cooling difference.
Definitely.
So instead of being 110, you're 80. And which is you're 85.
Yeah, because
but you can tolerate that if it's 85 in the shade.
Well, that's the thing is that we know, like, I think it's like before the time change, it's like 118. So at 118, we get our seat goes in the shade. But that 18 minutes before is absolutely miserable.
Yeah, what about the other side? The guys on the east.
They're there all day long.
But the minute we get that 119, the seat goes like 10 degrees cooler, and it's actually manageable.
Yeah. So if that seat's cooler just to get there, because there's actually shade on that seat the entire day. Because it's baking from the time the sun gets up at 7:15, 7:20 to the time of kickoff, which is 1:20. Like you said, Lummy, that thing's just baking. That hot red plastic seat's just baking in the sun.
They're hot too, aren't they? When you first try to sit down,
they're hot.
Dan, they don't have the fine leather that you have. And Dan can Dan can actually shut the windows and have full air.
Oh yeah, and we shut the windows until the game starts. We keep the windows shut until the game starts.
And I've been there a few times where Joe has kept them shut a little longer, like maybe into the second quarter, because it was so damn hot. And he wanted to, but they always did open because Joe had to feel the game. Joe had to feel the game. I asked him one time, I go, Dr. Dan, or Dr. Joe. Yeah, Bubba. Listen, why do you keep the windows open when it's I got to feel the game. And listen, that's all I needed for an explanation.
It makes sense
because you didn't ask Joe twice. I only got in trouble one time at the box, and I knew. So Steven says, "Listen, I know you're coming to the Packer game. I know you're a Packer fan. Don't wear a Packers jersey." I'm like, check, no big deal. So I wore a red Bubba Army polo. It's red, you know. So everybody,
right. You're with it.
Yeah, I'm with it. So. And it's a really tight game. It's 7-7. Remember, Lummy, it was Aaron Rodgers was down on your end of the field, right down by the box. You know, that on that end of the end zone, and it was like a 3rd and 1 on like the 3, and Aaron Rodgers did like a quarterback sneak or something, and he didn't get to first down, and so. And like Joe is like, I forget, I turned to Tyler. Well, we were sitting behind Joe. Remember, Joe sat in those 2 seats to the left with his buddy. Mm-hmm. Well, we were right behind him. So I tell Tyler, I'm not even talking to Joe. I tell Tyler, well, I wonder if they're going to go. I don't think it really matters because I think they're just going to go for it. I don't know if it really matters, but I use the word it really matters. Daddy Joe turned around and goes, "It matters." And I was like, sorry, Dr. Joe. And that was the only time, and I wasn't even talking to him, but his satellite ears heard it. And he goes, "It matters, Bubba." I was like, oh, it matters. Okay, there you have it. So that was the only time, though.
Bled Buccaneer blood.
Well, it was the only time. Now, some people would go in there and not really appreciate or understand the protocol. They would, and because Daddy Joe is always keeping inventory who's being a glutton. So I even remember telling Tyler, you're going to get 1 round of chicken fingers and 1 soda. Okay? That's it. That's all we're getting. Okay. Make it last. All right. So we go up, we get our 1 round of chicken fingers, and I get a Diet Coke, and he gets a Sprite. That's it. That's all we're doing. Because Daddy Joe would take Steve aside. Hey, and he would such and such and such and such. Are you watching what they're doing? I mean, they're wasting. They're drinking half bottles of water. How many bottle of vodkas have we ordered so far?
He get more pissed off about the vodka, the alcohol, than anything else.
Yes, when people.
Like, why is everyone drinking so much? I was like, well, it's a football game.
Yeah.
I mean, I went to a game once.
He consciously, Dan, kept score. Even though
the whole time. Yeah,
even though Steve settles, Steven, you guys, the brothers with Rob Elder, you guys settle the tab up. And Joe doesn't. That's just kind of the way it goes. But he still was keeping score, was he not?
The whole time. Yeah.
And he usually got most mad at you because you're the biggest glutton.
No. I never invited a bunch of drinkers, so he wouldn't get mad about the food as much as he get mad about the extra alcohol.
Right.
And I remember going to the Super Bowl once. Had a limo, had a bunch of friends, had a case of beer, and they go, "What are you doing all that beer for?" I'm like, "It's the Super Bowl." He goes, "You're gonna miss the game." I'm like, "I'm not gonna miss the freaking game. Come on." But he would get mad if you drank during the game because he thought your perception of the game would be distorted.
Yeah,
It'd be like watching under the influence was a bad thing.
Oh yeah, he did not. He was.
They may need to call you in, Dr. Dan.
Steve, how many bottles are we on of Absolute? Dad, I think we're on our 3rd. 3. Who's drinking so much? Well, everybody seems to be having a good time, Dad. Damn it, 3? Last game we only did 2.
It didn't make any sense.
And Rob Elder and Stephen J and Dan were writing the checks for it. Daddy Joe never got a bill in his own box. Am I right?
Yep. And we never got shrimp because he's like, everyone else is going to eat the shrimp. No one's going to get the shrimp. So everyone else is going to eat the shrimp. I'm like, Dad,
there was no seafood towers at the Diaco box.
Nope.
There was chicken fingers, some meatballs,
couple
hamburgers, some quesadillas,
popcorn.
Yeah, that's what it was.
Old popcorn. Stale popcorn.
Lummy, if you see, this is our newest item, and we got a bunch of new stuff coming.
It's gorgeous.
For summertime, and I wanted to make sure each and every one of you guys got it. We just got them in yesterday. Average Joe will probably order 10 of these for his crew.
Oh, yeah.
But these are those UV sun shirts. Last time we did them in like a gray. We did them in a really cool blue this time, and they got the hood. Little Red, Little Red's kid.
Yeah,
Big Red's kid. He goes out.
He's bigger than Big Red, so
he's gotten bigger now.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, I think he went bigger. I think he can whip Big Red's ass.
He probably could.
Big Red's pretty tough.
Yeah.
I mean, he's got his arms and his forearms and his hand strength and stuff. He'd snap his son in half.
Well, I don't know. His son's really pretty jacked right now, and his son fishes all day. He's the deckhand on a big fishing charter.
Really?
So he goes out every day, and he's baiting hooks and taking tourists on fishing trips every day. Now, let me is yours. Are ours green or are
gray?
They're gray.
So for
I don't know why she's put the blue one up. Do we have?
Well, Dr. Dan has the blue one.
I got a blue one.
Oh, okay. Do they come in different?
It looks like it. So maybe like the 3X.
And I think we're way underpriced here.
Holy cow, $25.
Yeah, these are $50
all day long.
These are $50. Custom Bubba Army Huck inspired UV sun shirt, fishing shirt. You can't go to the beach without one. These shirts complement the Bubba Army straw hat and the Bubba Army sunglasses. Get them before summer's over. I will tell you this, that I only ordered about 125 of these. I did not order a lot. Sun protection, the fishing hoodie protects your skin from the sun's harmful rays. Added the most advanced sun blocking plus 50 UPF materials. They block out UV and UVB rays, cooling fibers, stain release, moisture transport. So again, these
high tech.
Do they come in two different colors, or are they just? I don't know.
I don't know. I mean, listen, I'd like my gray.
You might have got an old one.
Well, thank you.
I don't know. I don't know why. Maybe she can let us know during the break why.
Is there two shades of blue? Is that look at the bottom right? What's that? Is that like a?
I think it's just the way the light is hitting it.
Yeah, I don't know. I think they're blue, but I think Lummy may have gotten an old one because we do have some old gray ones.
Light gray?
That we haven't sold. So I don't know. Maybe she can let us know.
That's different than the old one.
Why?
I got an old one. It's light gray. That's much darker.
I don't know. Lummy, maybe the 3Xs are gray. Merch Crick, you might want to text me. Let me know why we have a color disparagement here. But I will tell you this. Man, look at that price.
I know.
Am I making any money on these things?
It's almost a foolish price. It should be $35.
I might have her
jack it up a little bit.
Maybe to
$29.99.
Yeah, let's put it to $29. I mean, I've seen these things for $60.
Yeah, I've paid $50-$60 for them all day long in a surf shop.
Merch Crick, if you're listening, let's get these things up to $29.99. I don't think anybody's going to bitch about that extra $5 due to the fact that let me just.
She said go to the homepage real quick.
Oh, okay. I'm gonna go to the homepage. All right, homepage. Boom. By the way, this is Bubba Army merch, Bubba Army shop, BubbaArmyStore.com. There I am on the homepage.
2 listings before the watch. There, so right there.
There's a great one.
There they are.
So there's 2 different ones.
Oh yeah.
We got a blue one. Which you know what? I guess if you can get in there and get it before she can change it to, if you can buy one in the next minute, you might get one for $24.99. If not, they're gonna. I'm jacking them to $20. I'm jacking them to $29.99 here momentarily. So Lummy, it looks like we got 2 different colors.
Yeah.
Look at she even put the little sunglasses in there like that. Look at that. So I really like the blue one. I really do.
It's beautiful. In real life, it's a beautiful blue.
Merch Crick. So it looks like we got 2 colors on these, the blue and the gray. Go in there now. I don't know if she's going to let it through or not. I think she's probably making the changes now. Let's go ahead and go $29.99. Now, do you guys agree that that's still a very good,
Yeah, that's still.
You'll still sell them out.
I think we'll still sell them out. Let me see. UV rated fishing shirts. Let me see here.
She just posted. Oh, she said $28.99.
All right, that's a good comp. She's probably mad at me for making the change. So,
so she undercut you $1?
Yeah.
Yeah. So she wanted to.
Bubba.
I think she wanted to like still have some say so in it. So let me. If you look at these, I just googled these right here. They're regularly $55, and this I guess they're blowing these out at $41. So
28s, 29, 30s, perfect.
And these are all sold out.
Yeah.
So yeah, probably I'm looking at probably 40, 24. They don't have the hood though.
Yeah, but those are the material. It's all about the material too, because they can have a wicker, kind of material, but Like this has, I think it was what stain. There's like a stain resistant.
Stain resistant. There's a
cooling.
UV plus 50, and they're still at. Oh, hold on. This one's at $28.99, and that one's at $24. Maybe she hasn't quite changed them up yet. Bubba Army Shop, Bubba Army Merch, BubbaArmyStore.com. I also have the Bubba hockey jerseys coming. I don't know how well those are going to sell because they are going to be they're truly an insider. You got to be hardcore Bubba Army because they're Bubba Army hockey jerseys. Authentic. They're embroidered and stitched. They're number 64, which is my football number. And on the back they say Clem. So like they're not your last name, they're mine. And they're not the last name of your favorite hockey player, they're mine. And they're, an oddball number 64, which happens to be my football jersey. So, I think you're really kind of narrowing your scope as to only really hardcore Bubba Army fans are going to buy that. I think the casual Bubba Army fan may not buy that, but that's why I think they're going to sell out pretty quickly because I didn't order a lot of them. I think I ordered 106 of those. And
I think they're going quick.
And they, so I get the hockey jerseys coming. The slides just got in.
Nice.
The shoes should be in here in about 10 days. We got the new Huck inspired UV shirt. We got the bicycle brand Bubba playing cards. And I think, and we ordered the Lasker shirts. And she ordered new beanies, new tack bags, and new Bubba Army hats.
Any certain color on the tack bags?
I think they're going to be
the same?
The camo tan ones that we have now because those sold so quickly.
So like Coyote Brown or Flat Dock Earth?
Yeah, have you seen
one
them?
of those? Yeah, that's a good color.
Right here. Hold on, I got one right here. They're so nice. Like if you're a dude and you carry a gun, you just sometimes it's tough unless you're Dan and you got an outside saddle and you want to roll up like a cowboy. It's tough to be able to find something that you can sling over your shoulder and not look like you're carrying some, fag bag, you know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. And have something that's slingable over your shoulder where you can have your iPhone, your keys, your wallet, your credit card, at your checkbook, and then in the back, a quick release gimmick for your.
Did you say checkbook?
Yeah, I carry my checkbook.
What, Dr. Dan?
I don't know. I just don't carry a checkbook. Here's the thing.
If I'm buying something, if I had to pay for something, and they don't take, I've probably written 2 checks this fiscal year, but there have been a couple places where I've written checks. Like, for instance, when like Power Screen or Rent Pro or somebody like that comes to the track.
Oh, you slap them a check as they show up.
And the machine shows up and they need, $800 or whatever for transportation fees. And the truck driver doesn't take, Venmo, PayPal, Cash App. You can just write them a check.
Okay.
So, I travel.
I like checks, but I just keep like the checkbook in the office.
I travel in different circles than you do, Dan.
Yeah.
So Bubba Army merch, Bubba Army shop, BubbaArmyStore.com. I don't know if the ones have been adjusted yet. You might get lucky and be able to get one of these UVs for $24.99. Nope, they're all at $28 now. And still, $4, who cares?
Yeah, you snooze, you lose.
I think the cards, the bicycle-inspired Bubba Army playing cards are going to be $8.99, like $9.
Oh, that's not bad at all.
No. So we'll have those here soon as well. We'll break down the World Cup the best that we can when we return.
Point of order?
What's that?
Can I have a point of order?
What's that mean?
That means just like some like housekeeping stuff.
Yeah, sure.
While we're on housekeeping things and kind of off topic. On the YouTube about the show, you still have Seth and all these other things on the information about the show. Maybe that should be updated.
You're talking about
like I was trying to get to the chat on YouTube and I end up with this other screen. It's just like about the show. There's like 3 paragraphs about today, and then afterwards it's like stream decades of uncensored. And
about,
it says
the
about the show.
Hold on, about the show. Bubba the Love Sponge is a nationally syndicated show that airs Monday through Friday, 6 to 10 a.m., hosted by Bubba the Love Sponge, Seth Kushner, Lummy, and co-hosts Dr. Dan, J. Diaco, Tuttle, Brian Babyface Matroni, and Gene Lasker. The show features outrageous humor, uncensored opinions, celebrity interviews, and the kind of content most shows won't dare to touch.
There's only a couple words that probably should be deleted.
Great find on that. And that's a Gary Cantrell gimmick. And I'm sure, Lummy, that Gary Cantrell, I don't know if he can edit this particular show while we're in progress, but moving forward, we can change that template, Dan, and maybe even change this one after the show's over with. I'm thinking.
Yeah, and we'll make sure we screenshot it and send it to Dr. Dan.
And make sure and then check up, follow up, and make sure that we do superstar co-hosts, Dr. Dan.
Yes, of course.
Okay,
yeah.
sure.
We'll put it in gold
Superstar.
writing too.
Superstar.
Yes.
Superstar.
I can't get the chat up on this side.
And you know what, Lummy, when it says guest co-host Dr. Dan Diaco, you should technically put ESQ.
Okay.
Because, you got to give the guy, you got to give him his due. He didn't go to law school for however many years and pass the bar on his first attempt just to be left out.
So do we got to put that for Jay?
Yep.
And Babyface?
Yep.
And
that's it.
I guess that's it.
Yeah, so you put.
Yeah, I wasn't looking for accolades. I was looking more for just a deletion.
You were looking more for
cleansing,
accuracy
and cleansing.
But while
Get
we're
rid of
in
the
there,
old
while
vitriol.
we're in there, it's like when you're in there doing a guy's knee, if you see a couple little bone fragments that you didn't
clean
see,
up.
you clean it up.
Yeah.
So while we're in here, we might as well clean it up.
Right. Let's say add some flat screens.
Right. Add flat screens. So let me, if Mr. Cantrell could get on that.
Yes, sir.
Much appreciated.
No problem.
Bubba Army Store, Bubba Army Merch, Bubba Army Shop. I'm telling you, the UV shirts will sell out. I didn't order that many. And probably in the next 2 weeks, I got the bicycle trading cards. I got the Gene Lasker. How about that? I got new hats. I'm reordering the tack bags. I think potentially, Lummy, we're down to a few backpacks. I might rehire because those backpacks.
Oh, those backpacks kick ass.
They might be the best value of anything we have with regards to like how good a quality. You can travel. I can go to Indiana for 4 days and not have to bring anything other than my backpack.
Really? You can live out of a backpack for 4 days?
Yep.
I can't. I can maybe do a carry-on for 3.
No, here's
because we're going to Jersey, and I'm like trying to figure out like luggage.
Can I tell you how I do it?
How?
Do
you send stuff ahead of time?
Nope. The pair of shoes that I'll be wearing the entire trip are the pair of shoes I'm wearing on the plane. Then I put 3 pairs of underwear. Let's say I'm staying 4 days, but one of the days is the day I'm traveling. So 3 additional days. So the outfit that I'm wearing on the plane is my day 1 stuff, Then I got 3 pairs of underwear, 3 pairs of socks, deodorant, toothbrush, toothpaste, dental floss, some lotions, 3 T-shirts. I can usually recycle. 2 pairs of shorts.
Yeah, you can usually get 2 days out of a pair of shorts.
You can get 2 days out of
Unless
a pair of
you spill
shorts.
something.
Because see, the only way you can't maybe get a couple days out of some shirts is because you might armpit it out a little bit. So 3 shirts, 2 shorts, 3 socks, 3 underwears, a toothbrush, toothpaste, lotion, and my pair of shoes I'm wearing. I'm just going to wear the same shoes, and that's it. That's all I need, and I'll have a hat that I'll wear on the plane. And some small hair gel and some small medications.
Well, Dr. Dan's got to have probably a different outfit for
Well, Dan has
everything.
to have probably shoes that match the outfit.
Yeah.
And then he's got to probably have a couple different belts. He's got to have
bathing suits, tank tops.
Bathing suits, tank tops.
And I usually do 2 pairs of underwear a day.
Now, have you ever thought about having a little closet up in the Jersey Shore area that you just go, maybe when you go there, you go buy like 4 or 5 tank tops?
No, I have that. I have stuff there.
You do have stuff there.
Oh, yeah.
And you still travel like a bitch.
Yep.
If you liked that segment, then you'll definitely like the new redesigned BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back to the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Yeah, that you can put right back in the...
Right back on the closet, yeah.
And what I'll do is on my carry-ons, like I'll take all my shirts with the hangers, and I'll lay them on my bed, and I stuff the hangers down into the shirt, and then I fold them in 3, and just pack them with the hangers.
Yeah, no hangers for me.
And that way I just hang them up when I get there.
I'm not wearing anything that needs to be. And if anything, I'll get an iron and iron it if I have to.
So they're merchant.
I hate ironing. They got some nice, really good steamers now.
Yeah, you don't even need an iron.
What's up, Yinzer, Snook Slayer, Henny Jacks? Hey, Lummy, can you get me on the chat on this left side on this YouTube? I don't know what I did wrong.
I mean, we don't have any more post-its, do we?
Pippi, Snook. I don't see any up here.
Macho me.
I'm sure.
Do I just need to order some?
I put like 100 of them when we left. We had a ton of them.
What button did you just hit?
Can you find me a pack?
Yeah, let me see what I can do.
I'm sorry.
Oh, no problem. Let me try to get Dr. Dan Esquire on chat. Iggy McGillicuddy.
Iggy, good morning.
Is it 25? Oh, shit. Oh, I just messed up the whole thing. God damn it. Damn, Iggy. There we go.
You literally have to start from the beginning?
Yeah.
Then where you pull it?
Let me make sure. Does Mach have his 4? Make sure the cabling place is in there.
Okay.
All right, thank you.
I'm gonna do cabling right now.
Okay. That's all.
Dan, this new cabling place might be somebody you might want to look into.
Oh,
Cabling?
Bubba.
Like yeah.
Can you email me? Can you email Macho the audio for the cabling? He can't get into your computer currently.
Well,
I know.
How do you do that?
Black Guy Kelly.
Macho said he'll come in and do it real quick.
Do I use just tell him to come here real fast?
Yeah.
Driver.
Mach, switch with me.
Oh, I know how to do it.
Buck Boltroy.
I know how to do it. Man, we have so many fucking technical difficulties around here.
It's a lot of technology. Chub it up.
Yeah, but just hit it with your AOL to me, please.
I'm going to do it. I'm doing it right now.
Yeah, I don't know why I keep forgetting about your checking your computer.
Why are we so fucked up?
Carlton.
Okay. Thank you.
Cuts. Heather Spin. Cincinnati Glove Bug. Shower Doll.
There you go. This is from Merge, but
Dan Springle Can.
Merge Kirk knows too that we have
Ned's Rusty Taint.
a ton upstairs.
Pitching Balls.
Why do we have so many?
Mercer. What's up, by the way? Camper Scott, Berto, Trash Guy, Iggy, Luke, Big Red. Good morning.
Big Red, how are you, my family? We were talking about how.
He can make it cut you $20.
So tell Macho I just sent it to him.
How
Okay,
much of a
thank
stud
you.
your son's turned into? Erika, Ziggy, Greg, Jib, Dynamite, Don. Good night. From Mass. By the way, Chief Sports Network. Bob Cook, Jeff Coy, Kendall, Nick, the Gun Guy, Creatine. Organic Gene, Oshak, FJ Bar. Bug. Little Red's already on the water. Fuck, 6:30.
Gotta be out there before the sun's up, Dr. Dan.
What?
Gotta get the bait fish.
Yeah.
You gotta get your bait and get out there before, other boats.
No.
It's
Oh,
too hot.
it's a Pippi.
Raising point.
Guys, your wife is hot. With soaringly high summer temperatures, it's time to get her a box. Watch romantic movies, thrilling series, shows to set the mood, baseball, soccer, racing, and the fights for you to enjoy too. All the programming Get a Box is famous for in crystal clear HD. It's so easy to set up, even your buddy with a VCR can hook it up. You know what else is too hot? That cable bill. It has more junk fees than a used car lot. This summer is the right time to enjoy a box. Today, with promo code Bubba, you can get $25 off any box. Go to getabox.com, promo code Bubba for your box today. Getabox.com.
Stay inside with your hot wife and never pay for TV again.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all of the Bubba Army. Now returns.
We just got a new client, and well, of course, all of our clients I love, like Morgan Exterior. I'm going to be hiring them to make me a new closet and maybe potentially hang an LED light. But, Morgan, or if I don't know if I need new windows. I think I have new windows, but most people have no idea where to turn when you want to get those new windows. And if you live in Florida, man, and you got single pane windows, one, it just doesn't keep the heat out, and two, you're really, really susceptible to some hurricane damage when we get some 80, 90, 100-mile-an-hour winds up in here. Those single-pane willies are going to fly right through. Morgan Exteriors can do all of that. That's a great client.
And he actually put, modern windows in about 2/3 of my house, the 120-year-old house.
Yeah.
Because they were just old and they needed to be replaced.
Yeah.
And we did, the impact. And, it's hard to retrofit a house that old without screwing it up.
And that's kind of like one of his main specialty. Like Morgan Exteriors will
start off as windows. They started with windows.
That's what he started. Well, he actually started cleaning up the hurricane mess from Hurricane Andrew.
But his commercial business was based on windows for like 10 years.
So after he made a ton of money from the government of cleaning up Hurricane Andrew, he's like, I'm going to get into the window business. And he got into the window business. And now that it's expanded into anything you need for your house business. But Opie and, of course, Kurt, all relatives of, that's Jay's wife's stepfather. He raised her.
Yep.
And he's a good dude, Kurt Morgan. Anyway, that's Morgan Exteriors. We got Crystal Harley. They got a big shindig. Is that happening? What did they? Oh, that just happened last weekend.
Yes, yeah.
That was last weekend.
July.
Yes, but we got Strange Clouds, and we got Volkswagen of Wesley Chapel, and we got Get a Box. We just got a new one, and it's called GPZ Cabling, and. I don't know of a person that doesn't need potentially this service. And what they do is they handle residential and commercial low voltage work, anything from network cabling to Wi-Fi to security cameras to access control to racks to cleanup and more. So like homes, offices, warehouse, restaurants, GPZ cabling, they get it done. It's professional. It's right the first time. Stop fighting bad internet, sketchy wiring, Wi-Fi that doesn't work, your perimeter of your home not being cameraed up. All of that, they handle it all, and they come in and assess potentially what you have, and they make your rat's nest that you got, all jerry rigged up. They make it look nice. They'll make sure that you have fast, efficient Wi-Fi. They'll make sure you have the cameras in the right positions. And they just basically, fix what you either have and you've not routed correctly or made it look nice or it's not efficient, or they fix what you don't have, meaning like you don't have any surveillance on your gate, you don't have any surveillance in your office, you don't have any surveillance, and they do, and it's called GPZ Cabling. And you can go to GPZ Cabling, CABLING, GPZCabling.com, and get free quotes. Have them come out, look at your. I'm actually going to have them come out here and look at, kind of maybe double and triple check what Spectrum and Frontier and all the we got Wi-Fi that goes to the building. We got Wi-Fi that goes to my house. I got Blink cameras. I got all kinds of different things. They'll be able to come out here and tell me, what's sketch, what's efficiently been done, what they can do better. And so, man, give them a call. Maybe even before you've started these projects of, hey, I'd like to camera up my whole house, or hey, I'd like to make sure that my Wi-Fi is way stronger because my Wi-Fi sucks. And they'll put boosters in and all that kind of stuff.
Which that's the thing is, like, the cable company boxes that they're giving you nowadays are just crap. They tell you how good they are, but realistically, you don't get a good signal with your Wi-Fi and different things like that.
Chances are the equipment that Spectrum or Frontier or whoever gave you is junk.
Exactly.
And for virtually no money, you can call them up and tell them to come get their router because JPZ got you, a way better router running a zillion miles faster for, $80 or something like that. So anyway, go to gpzcabling.com. See what they offer. They're a new client. Lummy, I'm going to get with you to see if we can schedule them out here.
Okay, perfect.
Just to take work with Macho Man.
Of course.
I don't want to upset Macho Man. Have them go through Macho Man, but then I need to have them look at my house too, because Merch Crick's wired all kinds of stuff up. I don't know how good it is, but they can look at it if they will. So yesterday I taped me and Pete. Taped 2 podcasts. One was about a guy, so it was our third one. Our first one is the Gilgo Beach killer. Our second one is the Golden State killer, guy out of California. The member would stack plates on a man's back while he was raping his wife. Oh. And if you stayed still, he tied you up he hog tied you into what was called a diamond knot. And he learned the diamond knot because he was a former Navy guy. And then he would sexually assault your wife in front of you while you were hogtied, and he would stack plates on the back of your back. And if you were still and the plates didn't fall off, you potentially didn't get killed. But if you wiggled around and tried to get out of the knot and plates fell off your back, he'd off you. Now, is that not next level absolutely craziness?
Oh, yeah.
So wait till you hear this guy we did yesterday. His name's, and the good thing about our new podcast, I'm not going to give you the name yet because we're probably still 2 or 3 weeks from rolling it out, but it's really got a neat, catchy name. And Pete, my co-host, Pete's kind of the star of the show, and I'm just kind of the setup man that asks questions. But Pete did 25 years in federal prison for drug trafficking. And so Pete knows a lot of stuff, and he also, listen to this, Dan, one of the reasons why he was really, really popular in prison is because he's really, really smart, and he would write the fellow inmates' appeals for them. And he had about a 70% success rate on writing your appeal to get you time off. And like the average time he would get off a guy's sentence would be like 30 to 40%.
Which is massive.
And so when you're that guy in prison, the whites,
everybody's friend.
The blacks like you.
Right.
The whites, and by the way, he's Brazilian Italian, is what he is.
Which is why you don't mess with him.
And so he hung out in the Italian Jewish. In prison, they got things called cars, and that's better known as a group. So when he was in the Italian Jewish car, but he also was kind of in the Hispanic car as well, and he was an orderly, meaning like they trusted him so much that at night he would get to pick 4 guys, and they would get out of their cells and mop and sweep, and then the guards would pay them in food. So Dan, they would go and mop all night long for 2 or 3 hours, and then take them down to the mess hall and get like 10 chicken breasts and really, really good food that they could then use as currency in the yard. So this guy's brilliant, and one of the things that he does is he finds these really, really bad killers, serial killers in most instances, that the media for the most part didn't really cover that much. I don't think any of us have ever the podcast hasn't come out yet, and it's going to probably come out in 2 or 3 weeks, and it's our second podcast, The Golden State Killer, which I was just talking about momentarily, but I never heard about that. I never heard about a guy that would sexually assault men's wives while they were hogtied in a diamond knot and put plates on their back and make. I never heard of that.
No, it's horrific to hear. I mean, it's absolutely frightening.
And so through Gary, and one of the reasons why we're taking our time is it's going to really take Gary a lot to build these podcasts, because Gary's going to have to go use AI and then go back and we provide photos from from the what we're talking about and things like that. But Gary, it's just not necessarily a spoken word podcast. It's going to have visual. Gary has to build these. And I've entered into a deal with Gary so that he can get paid based on what the channel makes. Yes. And so I want Gary. I know that Gary, it's an unbelievable amount of work for you, Gary, but I think there'll be a big payoff for you, my friend. So we taped 2 yesterday, and one was a guy named Israel Keys. And Israel Keys was a killer from Anchorage, Alaska. And Dan, he was a bank robber and a killer. Oh. And but the thing about this guy is, so he would fly from like Anchorage, Alaska to Chicago, then drive down to Louisville and do 2 or 3 bank robberies, maybe a killing or 2, then drive up back to Chicago and fly back to Anchorage. So, most killers kind of stay within their little geographical area, and that's usually where they get caught. So it made this guy so much harder to catch. Now listen to this. I'm just giving you a couple little tidbits. Listen to this, Dan. So this guy, Israel Keys, he would sometimes 2 years before, he would fly to a city like Vermont. He would go to the hardware store and buy a 5-gallon bucket and put like a gun, a knife, rope, anything and he would call them killing kits. And then he would bury the killing kits somewhere that, somewhere in a wilderness area that he knew, so that when he traveled back 2 years later, he already had a killing kit in that town that he would go unearth. And so, because the first time when somebody gets killed, they automatically go and look at the tools used, right? And then they go back to the Ace Hardware or the Walmart.
They look for receipts.
And they look for surveillance. Hey, who bought the 10-foot of rope, and who bought duct tape,
right,
and who bought the lime, and who bought all the what's that stuff that they put in there when you're to decompose
lime or acid.
Who bought all, and so when they would do that, they wouldn't find anything because he had bought them 2 years earlier from different areas. And so, this is how brilliant this guy was. Israel Keys. So we taped 2 yesterday, Lummy. Israel Keys will be the 3rd one that we let when we finally start releasing these. And then, now, Pete was a drug trafficker. And most people don't have any idea how the actual cartel operates in America. They don't. You have no idea. Like, for instance, we think that what was the guy? Not Guzman. What? No, I'm sorry. Capo. The guy that Chapo.
Oh yeah, Chapo. Chapo.
We think, because we don't really know, that if I said, hey, who is the head of the cartel that they just arrested and guys, they put the guy away forever? Chapo. Who runs the cartel? Chapo did. Did you know that Chapo was only one of 66 different organizations that could be potentially considered a cartel? And that it's all controlled by the government? It's all controlled by the government because all of cartel-based drugs from Mexico, at least cocaine, that come into our country goes into Los Angeles. Los Angeles is the only place that from Guadalajara, which is their main area, the cartel, the 66 organizations that I guess we affectionately call the cartel, they send it to Los Angeles. Now, He's like, if the federal government was really, really, really keen or really, really wanted to stop drug trafficking, they would take every one of their DEA agents, much like Ronald Reagan did in 82, and he put 90% of the DEA agents in Miami to stop the influx. Well, at that point, it took 2 years for the cartel, the Colombian cartel at that time, to pivot and said, we're not going to start sending drugs into South Florida. We're going to start going through Mexico. We'll let the Mexicans distribute it, and then we'll put Colombians in Los Angeles, and the main dude was named Mario. But once the feds finally took down Mario, then the Mexicans took over distribution in Los Angeles. And so all drugs come from Los Angeles. And there's only 3 places they send it to: Chicago, New York, and Atlanta. So I'm like, well, Pete, why don't we just do what Reagan did in 82 and put all DEA agents and all hands on deck in Los Angeles, because that's the main hub of where all the cocaine comes in from Mexico. And he's like, because do you think the congressman or congresswoman from Oklahoma or the state senator from Missouri, they're going to vote on a bill that takes the DEA out of their area and puts him in Los Angeles? I'm like, no. He goes, exactly. So it's never going to happen, because the government, they like to be able to go back, the congressmen and the senators, they like to go back and tell their constituents that they got this many DEA agents in their particular area stamping out drugs, when realistically the government knows where it's coming from, where the main distribution center is, and it's almost like a necessary evil to be able to keep law enforcement presence in your local community.
That is the ultimate hypocrisy of government, and you just defined it.
And Dan, what do you hear this?
Maintaining a problem so that we can maintain a costly solution.
He said Trump actually caught a ton of grief. He made a statement early on about drug trafficking in Mexico, and Trump was dead on. And he's the only president ever to say the truth. And he caught a bunch of crap for it, but I forget what the quote is. You might be able to find Donald Trump's quote about the Mexican drug trade or something like that. And he's like, Trump was dead on, but nobody wants to hear the truth. Mm-hmm. And so that was a 2-hour episode. I didn't get out of this studio yesterday till 4:30. We taped till 4:30. 2 hours on the Israel Keys and 2 hours on how. And Dan, I'm going to tell you right now, you're going to be riveted and it's titled "How the Cartel Works in the U.S." And you're going to be riveted by how it really works, and how it's just the government knows, but it's like you said, the ultimate form of hypocrisy.
Well, the same reason that they don't want to solve the homeless problem in California, because if they solve the problem, then they're not going to have all those entities to feed money to.
Right.
And so same with the war on drugs. I mean, we've had a war on drugs for 50 years.
You want to hear this stat? When Ronald Reagan in 1982, this comes from Pete. Now, Pete did 25 years for drug trafficking, so this is his jam. So Pete goes, when Ronald Reagan said, there's going to be a war, just say no to drugs, and there's going to be a war on drugs, there was approximately 4 tons of cocaine that entered into the United States per month. In 1984, so if you put a war on drugs, right, Dan, you would think that 4 million tons that comes in monthly would go down, right? I mean, war on drugs.
Absolutely. We're trying to kill the drugs, right? We're fighting.
It went to 20 million.
Right.
Because what does the cartel? They ramp up production, because 30% of what we're sending is going to get clipped. So now we have to ramp up production. And so Ronald Reagan put all these agents thousands of agents down in South Florida. So what does Pablo Escobar and you have to understand the drug trade started with the Colombians and ended up with the Mexicans, and it's currently with the Mexicans now because the United States government made an example out of Pablo Escobar, and they took out the bad guy, much like they did Chapo, but there was 66 other organizations in Mexico ready to replace Chapo.
Mm-hmm.
So when Colombia said, listen, we can't be sending shipments through South Florida anymore, we got to send them through Mexico. And so, that's 2,000 miles of border that we as Americans have to defend instead of just Miami. And so it's 2 hours. Now, Gary, you can probably cut it down, but it's 2 hours of just riveting to know how it really works.
So,
did you know 50%, Dan, of the money that the Mexican cartel makes goes to the Mexican government?
So that's why they don't want to stop it. Everyone's getting paid. It becomes its own economy.
No, he said it becomes its own ecosystem.
Yeah.
And then once the cartel takes it they only take it to 3 places. The cartel, then listen to this, Dan. I'm just thinking of notes that the cartel developed. I think after '94, and it was NAFTA, which
North American Free Trade Agreement,
right?
Which destroyed farming in Mexico.
But hold on, but what it did is it put U.S. manufacturing in Mexico.
Mm-hmm.
So when you put U.S. manufacturing in Mexico, what does that mean? That means there's a ton of trucks that are coming out of Mexico back to the U.S. with durable goods, correct?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That puts an influx into how we're going to get it into the country,
mm-hmm.
right? They're not stopping Ford trucks and what have you, and there's only 3 points of entry into our country commercially. And Pete knows it all, and he's like, okay, so just do the stats. Out of the San Diego commercial port of entry, there's between 18 and 24,000 semi-trailers a day that go through there. Now,
Jesus,
logistically, how many can they, if they catch 1%, that's 1,800. He goes, they don't have an overflow facility to park these 1,800 trucks, and they don't have a warehouse to get the 1,800 trucks that have 300 kilos of cocaine in them. They don't have no place to store them. So they just come on through. I never knew that.
They don't even want to catch them.
They don't even want to catch them.
So yeah, they're all hypocrites, and Gavin Newsom, who beats his chest about homelessness and drugs in California. The homelessness is like doubled. The drugs isn't going anywhere, and all these other assholes are making money off of it.
And he said, now that's the cocaine industry. The weed, he goes, now weed's really slowed down out of Mexico. Back in the 80s and the 90s, you could only get your weed out of Mexico. He goes, now, they've pretty much abandoned weed, but there's still fentanyl, methamphetamine, cocaine, heroin, and each one of those have their own subsect of an ecosystem and how they do it. We were in the cocaine lane. That's the lane we were in. And I can't. It's going to probably be 5 to 6 weeks before this comes out because it's our 4th one. But it is absolutely mind-blowing on the things I did. And Dan, here's the thing. We're so misinformed as Americans.
Mm-hmm.
We think that we got a pretty good handle on them coming into the country. We got a pretty good handle on who did it. We took Chapo. He goes, Chapo was just window dressing. There's 66 other Chapos in Mexico that aren't getting busted, some of which have been going on for 35 years.
Mm-hmm. And there's, there may be 66 entities, but there's probably like 7 or 8 major cartels.
You're exactly right. There's 8.
And those guys, those 8, the big 8, control all of South America
and
Central America.
Everything goes through Los Angeles, and the distribution hubs are Chicago, New York, Atlanta. That's it. So the cartel's job, Dan, is to get it across the border to Los Angeles, and then if you're a buyer, you pay By the way, Dan, in order to be a buyer, you have to be a Mexican American national. If you're going to be the wholesale main guy that runs the Chicago hub, and then after that, you got second, third, fourth, and fifth tier guys. But they deliver it to the cartel will deliver it to Chicago. They'll deliver it to New York, and they'll deliver it to Atlanta, and then they're done. They're paid and they're done. But now, Dan, they offer. Did you know they offer insurance?
Really?
Yes, the cartel now. Let's say you're Johnny. You're some guy that lives in Boston, and by the way, you have to get vetted. You have to have family in Mexico,
so they can control you.
Yep. You have to have family in Mexico. They have to know where your family lives, and then they vet you. And your minimum order, Dan, is $3.5 million at 150 keys.
Jeez.
That's your minimum order to get in. And then once they'll ship it. Let's say you live in Boston or you live in New York. They'll ship it to New York. Then it's your responsibility. Now, if that shipment gets clipped anywhere along the process, you're not on the hook for it. And so now they never used to deliver it. You had to go get it yourself. So you had to go to L.A. and find out. So you got to understand within that there's a whole ecosystem of truckers. There's a whole emphasis. There's a whole ecosystem.
Fortunately, this weed took up a lot of space, like silver does, and fentanyl, heroin, cocaine takes up much less space, so it's easier to hide, easier to transport large values without getting busted. And again, because all of the states have gone to some kind of medical or therapy or recreational marijuana, buying
and
marijuana.
Ketamine.
Yeah, but buying marijuana out of Mexico is no longer a thing.
You don't do that. So it's all coke, it's all meth, it's all ecstasy, it's all fentanyl, and it's just I cannot wait. Now within this podcast, Dan, there's two other podcasts. One, how they launder their money. And two, there was one other one he was going to do, how they launder their money. And then, but you should see, Dan, in Mexico, they'll take like 6 really, 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 really successful businessmen. Each guy will throw in $2 million into this investment pot. So, you'll get like $12 million. They'll tell this business broker that puts all this money together, calls the cartel, says, I want to buy $12 million of cocaine. And they get 100% return on their money in 10 weeks. And meanwhile, that multi-millionaire or even billionaire in Mexico, he's not touching any cocaine. He's not making any phone calls. He has an investment guy he deals with. It's an investment. So he takes his $2 million or his $1 million and turns it into 4 in 10 weeks. And where in the world can you do that? Nowhere. So, I mean, it went 2 hours because I was just asking more questions and more questions and more questions. I can't wait for that article, for that podcast to come out. The Americans completely crapped the bed yesterday.
Yeah.
Wasn't it supposed to be like it was going to be like a really close game, like a 1-2, 2-1, 1-3. It was supposed to be that way. We got our star player back because the president bitched to the FIFA guy,
the
executive.
FIFA guy came out and said that Trump didn't have anything to do with
it.
And
he probably didn't because it was the right call. I'm not trying to but what I'm saying is we had our best player. We got our best player back. They made the right call, meaning they changed his red card to what a yellow card at that point.
Yeah.
And so we were all ready to go. And then Belgium comes in, and I mean, I think by soccer standards, a 4-1 is an ass whipping.
Oh yeah,
I mean that's like a 35-7 NFL score.
Yeah, the point spread was half a point. So
that's like getting your ass. That's like getting your ass beat 35-7 in football.
Yeah.
How will Donald Trump react to this? The United States out of their own World Cup. Surely there's no favours he can call in from Gianni Infantino this time to get them restored to the tournament somehow. He'd already had a huge help from FIFA. And yet, despite having following Balogun's ban frozen after Trump's intervention, the striker made little impact against Belgium.
Lummy, did the guy that was allowed to come back, the big superstar, did he crap the bed?
I don't know unless Dr. Dan saw it. I don't. He didn't really do much.
His name was never announced. He barely had the ball. It was like he was invisible. And again, it was
never coming close to scoring.
There's nothing worse than watching a baseball
the US
game
were
or a hockey game
4-1.
or a soccer game.
And there's no scoring.
Where not only there's no scoring, but there's like a score and you're behind the whole game.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like you're watching the Lightning when they're down 2-0 for 3 periods is torture. And so that's what this game was. It was they scored in the first 10 minutes, Belgium. And then watching the U.S. just kind of sit there with their heads up their asses was torture.
Did the U.S. players somewhat have a burr up their ass with regards to all the hubbub that this player had gotten?
No, it's just like they were asleep. It's
Yeah,
like they went to a new time zone.
Yeah, the first goal, they were talking about. It looked like they were trying to get them to offsides call, and instead of stopping the ball, they looked lazy.
Yeah,
I've been hearing flat,
lazy.
Bad. I mean, no effort. We didn't put shots on goal. We didn't have through balls. We didn't have anything.
Was it all worth the controversy for Trump and Infantino, having the integrity of the World Cup undermined by the pardon? Belgium's win does perhaps spare FIFA from any legal challenges. So now all 3 hosts are out of the World Cup, with the US, Mexico, and Canada all 4.
Now, who's the favorite at this point? Is it Brazil?
France still.
Yeah.
Is Brazil still in it?
No,
they got knocked out.
So it's down to 8 teams. Is it down to 8 teams now?
Yes.
Can you tell me the 8 teams?
Yes.
In the round of 16. Cristiano Ronaldo's gone too, with Portugal beaten 1-0 by Spain at the 41-year-old's last World Cup.
Ronaldo's now gone, right? He's out.
Means, unlike his great rival Lionel Messi, he'll never land.
Now, is Messi still playing, or Messi's out? He's been gone for a while, hasn't he?
Messi?
He's playing for Argentina, and they're still in it.
And they're still in it.
Mm-hmm.
Football's biggest prize. It's over to Messi today as Argentina continue their World Cup defense.
Now, another question, because I don't know anything about soccer. How many World Cups have Messi and Ronaldo won over their very much the GOAT tenure? Have either one of them won a World Cup?
I think one of them have won
against Mohamed Salah's Egypt, and the World Cup will hope to move on without the United States and the Balogun controversy that's created one of the biggest scandals the tournament has ever seen.
Yeah, whatever.
I mean, it's so overinflated. Like I said, they withdrew Ronaldo's red card, and they've done it to a couple other players. It happens all the time. People want to see their heroes when they travel to 4,000 miles to another country to watch this stupid freaking game.
Hello.
And let them watch their heroes.
Messi has one.
The
hello,
last one.
You're on the air. Go ahead.
Bubba, it's Jeff over in Oviedo.
Hi, Jeff.
You been? I hope everybody's doing good.
Doing great, my friend.
Dr. Dan, if you get a chance, you got to talk to Bubba about the paperwork I gave you.
Oh, okay.
Paperwork.
You know that stuff, that paperwork I told you about, that coke load I caught and everything?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I think it's time for Bubba to read that. I think he'll get a nice charge out of that. But actually, Bubba, commercial ports of entry along the Mexican border, there's over 20 of them along the Mexican border.
Yeah, which is even validating how we can't really put a stop to it.
It's a pain in the butt. Look, I'm getting called in for surgery. I'll call you, Dr. Dan. I'll leave a message, but you might want to show Bubba that stuff I get.
Okay.
Thank you, Jeff. Appreciate you. Thanks.
Thanks for everything, too, Jeff.
Anyway, Lummy.
The teams are France, Morocco.
Hold on. Slow down. Jesus, Lummy. France.
Morocco.
Spain. Belgium.
Norway.
England.
And the next couple of games. So Argentina, Egypt are playing today. And Switzerland, Colombia are playing today to find out who's going to be the next 2 teams.
The big hubbub, where's LeBron going? They're saying back to Cleveland? To me, that makes the most sense. You know why? He's got a house there. His kids are very familiar with the area. They've spent some time growing up there. Cleveland made it to the Eastern Conference Finals. They're only a player away. You know, whoever does get LeBron's going to get probably a 50 to 60% discount of what he's really worth. Right?
They'll sell tickets.
Yeah, he'll sell tickets, but I don't think they have a ticket issue due to the fact that, I mean, again, Dan, they made it clear to the Eastern Conference Finals. Let me. Does James Harden leave? Do him and Harden have beef?
No, I think they'll stay together. I mean, LeBron at this point, if he goes to Cleveland, he's going to need a lot. You know, the same people around him that made it.
I mean,
to
so
the
if they
Eastern
keep their
Conference.
same team, if they keep the same team that made the Eastern Conference Finals, and they add LeBron, that has to make them a better team.
Yeah, of course, yes.
So, I mean, but does it change the dynamics on, you know, who's getting how many shots? Does it change the offense a little bit?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the LeBron's still going to have to get the ball enough to get 20, 25 points a game. But I mean,
what about his son?
Oh, his son sucks.
Is his son going with him? His son staying in LA?
I'm sure that's probably part of the deal, that Bronny is the 12th man.
Probably.
Probably. The last time LeBron visited Cleveland, he obviously was a Laker. A second return home for LeBron James is coming soon. Didn't he go Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland? Would this be the third time that he's come back, or he never came back?
It would be his third time.
Yeah, so he did go Cleveland, Miami, Cleveland.
Yes.
L.A.
Yep.
So this would be his third time playing for them. They drafted him, right?
Yes.
And they won a championship with him.
Yeah, they did.
And then he went to Miami, won a championship, a couple with them.
Yes.
Then went back to Cleveland. Did he win a championship again on the second return? I don't think he did.
I think the first time I think he just went to it, and then the second time he came back, he won a championship.
Right, and this would be the third.
Yes.
Well, they're saying the Heat, Sixers, Golden State, and Cleveland.
His agent is doing a good job of making people or the different teams think, like Golden State right now is going to think, okay, he's going to go back to Cleveland. Maybe we need to make a better offer. And now if you say, Miami's interested now, then now there's a three-way bidding war for him.
Oh, yeah, but here's the deal. I think they've already established the fact that it's not going to be about money. It's not.
Yeah,
it's not going to be about money. So if it's not about money, then what is it about?
Padding the stats and getting his son to play.
There you go. So he's going to look at what team he could, potentially make the most ruckus as far as points. And, my son needs to be the 12th guy, make him $3.5 million. Something like that.
Probably.
That's probably where we're going to be. Donald Trump got on Truth Social, I think last night, July 6th at 5:08. So that would have been yesterday at 5 in the afternoon, and has said that he's talked to Walmart about bringing beef prices down by 15% and maybe getting a handle on, some of these inflated food costs. I think that that's a good thing, but I also think food costs will naturally come down if you get diesel down.
I disagree, Bubba, because what they're doing, it's conditioning. They're conditioning us to get used to these numbers and to just deal with it. They're never coming down. They're going to trickle down a little bit, but once they go up, how often do prices go down, Bubba? Like never. Gas goes up and down, but when's the last time real prices dropped?
Eggs went down because yesterday
there was an artificial shortage of them because they killed all the chickens.
Well, there also was a bet that three egg producers. You might have left. I think Steve was here. 3 egg producers actually admitted guilt and gouging of prices, and they got fined by the Federal Trade Commission and have to give 60 million eggs to food banks. And
I saw that.
And so that's what, on a larger scale, everybody that has anything to do with food, the big grocers, the Publix, the Krogers, the Walmarts, the Sam's Clubs, all the Aldis. Everybody has just increasingly inched it up. And initially it started out with, we're paying this much more for trucking to get these durable goods or these perishable goods to our warehouses, and we can't help, the fact that diesel should be $3.25 and it's $6. So that additional, expense goes to the price of hamburger or the price of whatever. So you're right, Dan. Now that future crude oil is being, traded at $69, which is about what the prices were a year ago, gas is not coming down.
It's still 35% higher.
It's still not coming down the way it should.
Right.
And they're not giving us any relief, even though they're paying a little extra for diesel. Dan is saying, and I agree, that when diesel gets back down to, this pre-war a number, they're not going to say, okay, you know what, steaks are now going to be 25% less because it costs us that much less to get them here. They're like, no, we've conditioned everybody to pay this much for a pound of beef. We're not going to go ahead and roll back the prices.
Yeah, they're paying 25. Why would you go down to 18?
Right.
There's no way if we're paying $25 a pound, they're going to go down to 18. They just won't do it.
I know a guy that's in the beef business. I actually, Lummy, saw him and talked to him on Saturday.
Oh.
And he said 3, 4, 5 years ago, you used to get $1.50 on the hoof. Meaning pound on the hoof, $1.50 a pound on the hoof.
That means a whole cow.
That means
that beef that's been slaughtered and butchered. You're talking about per cow. Like if a cow weighs,
on the hoof.
So if a cow weighs 100 pounds, it's 150.
Most cows weigh 1,000.
I know, but I'm just doing easy math.
So he said, you know what? He said we used to get $1.50 on the hoof, and it cost us $1.25 on the hoof to feed, deworm, defly that cow, and to take care of that cow for a fiscal year. It takes us $1.25 a pound. They have the margins, Dan. Like on the higher level guys who have 100, 200 head of cattle, they know exactly. It's 50, 60,000 a year in hay. It's dewormer, it's deflyer, it's the cowboy that rounds them up. So it's $1. Their dead cost on raising a cow for beef is $1.25 on the hoof. When they would take it to market, they'd get 4 or 5 years ago, they'd get $1.50, $1.60 on the hoof, and on the hoof. And he was like, the cattle business was tough. Like, breaking even was a success. Do you know what it's getting right now?
What, like $3?
$5 on the hoof.
But how much does it cost to raise?
$1.50.
Oh, it's only that much more.
$1.75. You said it's gone up about 50 cents because hay now, instead of being $30 a roll, is now $65. But there's still, so there's a lot of people getting in the beef business right now because there's a run on beef. There's a big run on beef, and he's making a ton of money right now. But there was 10 years that he barely broke even. Let me see if you can Google. What is beef trading for right now? He told me 5 on the hoof.
All right.
I don't know what. We'll get that next, okay?
Bubba the Love Sponge? Hell yeah.
I love them all, man. They're all great.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
Shows.
What's it saying?
I'm thinking this is by the pound because it's. So I'm trying to get the hoof too. Calf today. You get a half a hoof. You can get a half a hoof. Sure. Oh, fucking wrist is killing me. $6.75 all beef steaks, round roast. I'm gonna fucking hoof. Let's be trading right now by the cattle. What's up, LM Close? Alright. The National Beef Wire. Saving a series with 40. I want you to do the fucking price. National Beef Wire. There's a National Beef. $3.71 per head. See, I always thought it was not by the hoof, by the head. That's all I was told it was going to. You buy by the head, but what do I know? How many toes do they have, Felix? STARES.
Can you break down the calcium faster?
Yeah.
Is that the whole point? Alkaline breaks down the calcium.
Mm-hmm. And that I did a lot of research.
Acidotic, because he's always
And then listen, if he just sprinkled it in his morning orange, and it's just a half a teaspoon. That's
Right.
it, which is minute.
Right.
And then just shoot it.
Should he be drinking alkaline water too? Probably.
Wouldn't hurt.
Yeah.
But the half a teaspoon of baking soda in the morning with his orange juice will help. And then I'll find out about that other deal.
Blind medic, sure.
Did you send a thing to me?
Trying to get it to where it's easy for you having to click so much. It's showing it by the head.
If these egg guys are getting together, you don't think the fucking gas companies are getting together and talking about numbers? And Citgo and Chevron and Circle K and all those motherfuckers are talking? They all talk. Bullshit.
National beef wire. I sent you what they're going by per head. This is at 239.
That's not the numbers I was seeing. It's $6.99 a pound for T-bones.
Did you send me that National Beef Wire?
Yeah. Also, I'm going to send you...
I saw a brisket that was $150 for a fucking brisket.
Live cattle price per kilogram, $5.27. It says it's $2.71. $2.39.
Let's check. Sure, what are... Pup's doing great per
But we don't know what that means.
It says per pound. And then the other one was per head. See what the cattle feature one has.
And what I don't understand is why the gas companies wouldn't be sucking Donald Trump's dick because he's opened up so much.
All right, we just won't. We're not going to go there. We're not going to worry about it.
Choice boxes are...
Right. Well, what do you think? The oil companies should be like doing everything that Trump says because he made it so much easier for them to drill and all this other shit?
Yeah, but China's paying so much money for oil on the open market.
They're like a bunch of sharks circling in the water, searching for blood or any sign of weakness, and are ready to strike. This is the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Telling you right now, man. Volkswagen of Wesley Chapel, for any new Volkswagen or any pre-owned vehicle that you would want. If they don't have it in their inventory pre-owned, tell Rolo what you're looking for. Say, hey, I'm looking for a 300 Series Beamer 2019. He'll go to the auction and find it for you. They had a record month last month in sales. Good friend Rolo probably had a lot to do with that. Go to Volkswagen of WesleyChapel.com. I think it's actually VWWC.com.
VWofWC.com.
Yeah, VWofWC.com. Good people. And again, if you look at their used inventory, of course, if you need a new Volkswagen, they got it. Like Brian Petroni and my boy Creatine Travis. But if you're looking for something used and they ain't got it, just get a hold of Rolo and say, hey, man, keep your eye out of the auction for this, that, and this, and what have you. And Rolo will get it done. Again, Volkswagen, VWofWC.com. President Trump says Walmart will lower prices on a wide range of products, including cutting the price of a pound of beef by nearly 15% after his administration requested retailers to help celebrate America's 250th birthday. Trump praised Walmart as a patriotic company and urged other retailers to follow suit, while also touting declining oil, gas, egg, and prescription drug prices. Great news. I've just been informed that this comes from Donald Trump on Truth Social. Great news. I've just been informed that one of the biggest, best, and smartest one of the biggest, best, and smartest, which is our favorite. I've shopped at a lot, Walmart. Retailers in America, Walmart, will be lowering prices by a lot at the administration's request to celebrate our great 250th celebration, or birthday, I should say. Walmart will in particular be dropping the price of a pound of beef, ground beef, by 15%, among other products. This is a huge deal for many millions of Americans who smartly shop at Walmart. Sounds like almost a Walmart endorsement, does it not?
Yeah,
absolutely.
How many people are eating meat from Walmart these days? I mean,
But Walmart,
realistically.
people buy food there, though. It's just like a Target. You buy. They got this grocery sections, and everyone's got a grocery section now, from CVS to Walmart. It's crazy.
Walmart kind of has some skeptical beef. Like, have you seen those beef logs that they sell?
Yeah,
those 5-pound beef logs, and you open them up, and they feel like they're all fat.
Yes.
Like, and you can barely get the patty to turn into a patty because it's like all the grease is on your hand, and it's like, oh yeah, and it's literally like the size of a horse's penis. Like, it's that big. It's literally a log o' meat.
Yeah, they have like steaks like that too that are perfectly like square.
Ew.
So
is it fake steak? Is it real steak?
It says it's real steak.
Yeah. So Lummy, we were talking about the beef prices, and this is, I don't know what this is per se, meaning it's currently right now trading at $3.26.
And it's per 15 kilograms.
Is that per 15 kilograms?
Which is like 33 pounds. So it's, again, like $10 a pound.
Yeah. And so on the wholesale level, like the guy I was talking to, Dan, the guy that actually is raising the cow and take it to the stockyard, his price is probably $5. This is probably the retail, right?
Mm-hmm.
Well, I don't know. I don't.
It's wholesale. It's wholesale volume beef. Not on the hoof, but like butchered.
Anyway, a year ago, it was 286. And now it's $3.26, but just in April, 3 months ago, it was at 383. I think it hit 366. Jeez. So now if you look at the 5-year, what's this right here on 5-year? This is 2024. So it was $2. It was $224. So you can see, Dan, like these are
it's up 50+%.
Yeah. So I know that he just and here's the thing about the cow business. In order to be able to get these cows, you got to have what?
Land.
Bulls.
Oh.
And so he had to he had to buy a new bull.
Oh, to fertilize all the females?
And a bull
is more expensive.
A bull I mean, they're pretty expensive. I think they're like, listen, I want to misspeak because I really don't know much about the beef business, and I was just talking to him and trying to get somewhat educated. But I think a bull's like maybe $3,000 or $4,000, and he can breed about 25 to 30 heifers when they're in heat. And he says all the bull does is just lay around in the shade and put his nose up in the air and smell which heifer is in heat. Now, the gestation period for a cow is the same as a human, 9 months.
That long, huh?
Yes, 9 months.
That takes a while, and it takes a full year for the cow to grow up to be big enough to slaughter.
And
right?
so they try to take it off the mom's teat at about 3 or 4 months and start fattening it up with grain and grazing and what have you. But you're right, Dan. The sweet spot of taking it to market is a year. But he says at the end of the day, it comes in threes. You're hoping that the mom is feeding enough to maintain her health, is maintaining the health of the baby that's inside of her, and is maintaining enough to be able to provide milk for the baby that it has on the ground. So it's and then heifers that don't produce babies because you like to keep them pregnant as much as you can because that's your money. But if heifers can't produce babies because some can't have as many, then they go to the good news stockyard. And then bulls that age out, they go to the good, but I guess they can't sell bull meat. Like, but bull.
Really?
Yeah,
they only sell the female meat?
No, they don't sell bulls are men.
I was just saying this. They don't sell. They only sell
Yes.
the female cow meat.
Yes. And then the bulls, though, the bulls
just for studying.
No, the bulls are worth almost as much because like the bones go like they come the whole carcass. They use every bit for dog food and for like the hide and like they use every part of that bull. So there's no waste. But the bull is not for consumption, human consumption.
Interesting.
I didn't know any of that.
I didn't know that.
I didn't know any of that. This really pisses me off. This View. Do they really get enough like woke ass bitches that have nothing to do during the day to watch this nonsense?
These are the same people that made Ellen DeGeneres and Oprah Winfrey multimillionaires. People that watch this stupid ass show.
But I can see Oprah because she wasn't woke when she was really rolling hard. She was interviewing top-notch guests and asking them tough questions. You know, she'd have a Tom Cruise. Yeah, she had a Tom Cruise and an Eminem, and she would have things like that. And it wasn't, you know, she didn't really play the race card. She was a really good interviewer. And she had created an empire, you know, Oprah Productions or Oprah, and then she, you know, branched into a network and things like that. So I don't put Oprah in this category. I think Oprah would say, "Girl, please."
Well, the good news is that The View doesn't look like it's going anywhere because they have had their strongest performance in the ratings in 5 years.
You know why? Because everyone keeps talking about their dumbasses.
Yeah, because
they
make dumbass statements, and then everybody goes and watches the clip, and I don't know if they get credit for it or what have you, but it keeps their brand, I guess, relative and hot.
Yeah.
And you know what? Just like we experience, there's a large portion of people that watch this program to do nothing but hate on it. Mm-hmm. In fact, the haters of this program watch it more intently.
Just like the old Howard Stern stats.
Minute by minute.
Yep.
And we'll have daily forums about everything about the program. Everything. Meanwhile, the casual listener that likes the show, he'll catch bits and pieces of it as he's doing his job or doing his daily deal, or he'll catch the replay at his leisure. But he's not going to any forums and hating on it. He's like, I like the Bubba show for the most part. I like Dan. I like Babyface. I like Lummy. I like Macho Man. I like Gene. Yeah. But I'm not going to a forum and giving a minute by minute, you know, synopsis of how much I hate it. Well, The View, this just to me, I just can't understand how anybody could say this about our country.
And I said this on this show many, many years ago, because this is my 10th year on the show, and I said there are times when I walk into a community and I see American flags all over the community, and I suddenly feel unsafe because there is a section of this country that has co-opted the American flag, and they equate being an American or an American flag with white supremacy, and that should never be.
Man, you talk about absolute race baiting. I mean, if you were to say that about a black community,
oh yeah,
they would run you out of town. If you said, I walk into a predominantly African American community, and when these African Americans display their patriotism by having American flags during the celebration of our nation's birthday, or if they just are displaying a flag in general, I feel unsafe. If you're a white guy and you said that, and you basically made it, you bastardized the African Americans for displaying a flag and to be patriotic and love our country, which they should have every right to do. Any subsect of ethnicity that loves our country should display the flag. And I, as a white guy, am targeting a black community. Said when I walk into the Bronx or a predominantly known African American community, Detroit, and I see that all the African Americans have their American flags out, I feel unsafe. I feel like the Black Panthers are going to grab me at any time. They would be like, bitch, you are canceled.
So
canceled.
An example of this, Bubba, was Juan Williams said once on TV that he would get a little nervous. He went on an airplane and there was a bunch of Muslims wearing, burqas and stuff on the plane. That would make him a little nervous, and he got canceled for that. And so if I said, and this is in parody. If I go into a town and I see a bunch of BLM flags, I'm going to be scared. I got all these reverse racist black people that are going to hate me, and I'm going to be in fear for my life. That's the same equivalent. Or saying, if I go down to Times Square in New York, and let me phrase that, Rockefeller Plaza. I was there in June one time, and there was literally, without exaggerating, Bubba, 900 plus pride flags. If I said, I'm afraid to go to Rockefeller Plaza because if I go there, I'm going to get raped by some gay guy, that I would get canceled. Yep. And so this dumb bitch wants to denigrate the American flag and says the American flag
is based on white supremacy,
with racism and white supremacy.
She said,
"Fuck you."
Whoa. Show.
Wow.
Whew. Sorry about that.
Yeah, that flies on YouTube and all the unedited places. Thank you, but it does not fly on terrestrial, and I got it. Woo.
I'm glad you got it.
Oh man. But
I'm sorry. It's passionate, and so
it's not passionate. It's retarded.
Yeah,
and it's such a hypocritical, race-baiting statement that only a Hispanic bitch on The View could make that claim about a white person. There's no other equation. Black makes the comment about white, makes the comment about black. The only victim here, the only person that you can target as being a really bad group of people are white people.
Right.
And so you could not put white supremacy or black power, or you couldn't put that label on any other ethnicity other than the white people. And we have to sit here and take it.
But you make it as the Jews take it, because they do the same thing to the Jews.
Yes,
and the Catholics. And so, for some reason, you can pick on whites, Catholics, Jews, and men. Anything else is protected.
And
but if you go after those people,
people,
everyone wants to support you because they want this discourse in America. They want there to be a conflict, because when there's conflict, they capitalize and market it.
How can this white girl, how can she sit there and take this without saying, whoa, sister girl, hit the brakes?
By the way, that bitch's family owned slaves.
Yeah.
Jenny Austin? Yeah.
Has co-opted the American flag.
You hypocrite.
Hold on here. I want to play it again. I just want to play it again and not interrupt it and play it in its full 37 seconds.
And we're so racist. We allow this dumb bitch to make millions of dollars a year trashing the rest of the country.
Right. Hold on.
You're on the show, and I said there are times when I walk into a community and I see American flag.
And then the yentas that are in the crowd start applauding.
Flags all over the community, and I suddenly feel unsafe because there is a section of this country that has co-opted the American flag, and they equate being an American or an American flag with white supremacy, and that should never be the symbol of white supremacy, but they have weaponized.
Because the flag belongs to all of us.
It does belong to all of us.
Right. Well, they stole the rainbow. They already stole the rainbow from the rest of the world. But here's what I think is funny. What I would have said, hey, dumb bitch, how safe do you feel when you go to a teen takeover or a BLM rally and you're wearing all that freaking jewelry? Are you worried that someone's going to pop you over the head and take your $50,000 diamond ring? Do you really feel safe there?
Do you feel safe going to
one of these team takeovers?
Charlotte, North Carolina. Here's a team takeover from Charlotte, North Carolina. Here we go. Hold on.
Yeah, that's what your people are doing. That's what's representing your people.
You walk into a predominantly white neighborhood that's displaying the only thing they're doing wrong are being white and having a flag. That's what they're guilty of. You just said it yourself. You walk into a area that's got a lot of American flags displayed, you automatically think that you're in the midst of white supremacy and you feel unsafe. Well, how do you feel when you go to Charlotte, North Carolina, and this is during a teen takeover?
Right. How safe do you feel riding the subway with a bunch of your friends, a bunch of other African Americans in New York, and you're there by yourself with all your jewelry and stuff? How safe do you feel? I know that statistically, if you have a neighborhood, if you have two neighborhoods, and one neighborhood, all the houses have flags on them, you think there's a lot of crime in that neighborhood?
No.
Hells no. They all take care of each other. They respect each other. They respect other humans. They respect their country, and they don't break the law. Those people that are flying all those flags when they have a rally, when they're done, it's immaculate afterwards. You take a trans rally or a BLM rally, and you look at it afterwards, there's trash everywhere. They've destroyed everything. They fought the cops. They vandalized. They are destructive, and all they're trying to do is sow this discourse because it makes them stronger, where they try to denigrate the norms. They want revolution. This is what you get. Let's turn our country into Somalia. Well, let's be Somalians.
Well, Minneapolis is practically there. So the woman that made that statement on the View, would you feel more? There are no American flags displayed here. This is Charlotte, downtown Charlotte. You obviously, that's not one of your little hot spots of being able to roll into a community that's showing a large contingency of American flags that you deem white supremacist and you feel unsafe, but you'd feel more safe here where there are no flags and there's a ton of your own people. Or do you want to roll up into Chicago, and because there's a large contingency of African Americans in Chicago, and I don't know that in the areas that we're speaking about in Chicago where this woman potentially would be with her own, how many American flags would be displayed, and maybe she'd feel more safe in Chicago, where the statistics over the weekend were 20 shot, 4 killed, 3 stabbed, and 7 in a 7-person mass shooting, leaving 1 child dead. There's your Chicago stats.
Those 7 people were actually shot in the same area. Chicago police say they were called to Hamlin in Maple around 1:25 this morning. When they got there, they did find a 17-year-old girl who was shot in the chest. She was taken to Stroger Hospital to be treated, where she was last listed in critical condition. Now, 10 minutes later in that same area, first responders found 6 other...
She doesn't talk about Chicago. She doesn't talk about when you roll into largely African-American communities that may not be displaying any flags, that may not have any white supremacists there. But do you feel safer there? Do you feel unsafe there?
Who were also shot.
How many times are we hearing about white people shooting up a bunch of black people? It doesn't freaking happen.
Their ages range from 17 to 20 years old. Police say those people were standing outside when they were hit by gunfire. They were all taken to nearby hospitals to be treated. Now, it's still unclear what exactly led up to these shootings. Investigators have not officially connected the two, but we do know that they both took place in the same area.
Have you got a hold of our guy that holds Brandon Johnson accountable, and see if he wants to do an interview?
I've sent him some messages. He told me he did respond. He said he was going to be checking his schedule and see if he would be able to come on, and I haven't heard back. So,
Erika, when we return, Erika Kirk storms out of the courtroom after graphic Charlie Kirk assassination footage is shown. Lemmy, are people, are they rallying and supporting her? Are they...
There's a mix between people that still think that Erika Kirk is just kind of a grifter and she's...
a gold digger?
Yeah, pretty much. She's
I mean, is there anybody out there saying that she is a potentially grieving widow and she loved her husband and it was very much a tragedy at what happened? Is there, or is that completely out of the question that you actually try to feel sorry for a woman?
You get shamed if you say that.
So if you're like, hey, you know what? I don't know anything about Erika Kirk and what she was before she married Charlie, but I know that she was married to a man named Charlie Kirk. That was her husband. They have children together. They look like they're very evangelical. They very much believe they're Christians. He was a very brilliant guy, was very fair in his assessments of life to the point where it upset people, how frank he really was, but with statistics to back his frankness. And this was his loving wife, who now is a widow. And is it not cool to feel sorry for her? Or do you get canceled and you're a complete asshole and you don't know what you're talking about if you support this woman?
You don't know what you're talking about. You're a racist.
I'm racist.
Yeah.
Just by feeling bad for this widow.
Right. I don't have anything to do with
whose husband was shot right in front of her.
If the only thing I know about the woman, Dan, is that she lost her husband in a horrific assassination.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all I know about her, and I am like, listen, I really feel for her, having lost her husband. She no longer has the man of the family to help raise the children. I really feel for her. I'm a racist now?
Mm-hmm.
Why?
Because he was a racist, because he spoke the truth to most people, and every time he said something that sounded controversial, he supported it with facts. And because the other side that was opposite of him, and that is the fringe liberals that are beyond just Democrats, but super like the Democratic Socialists of America and the communists that are taking over the Democratic Party, they have labeled them, and you can't contradict it. They have labeled that entire family as racist, white supremacists, and they love throwing these labels on there.
And I'm going to tell you right now, man, I got to go to words. I'll be back with Erika Kirk next, but there's a real slippery slope that we're on right now as Americans. And you can be Democratic all you want, and you can toe that liberal belief all you want. That's your right, and God bless you. And you can be a Republican, and you can toe that conservative belief, and your beliefs are, somewhat different than that liberal and or libertarian candidate. But you fundamentally believe in our country. You fundamentally believe in capitalism. That's what our country is built upon. And never in the history of our country have we had anybody get any type of large political job that pounded their chest as a socialist. And now we are electing people that pound their chest as democratic socialists to the tune of, there's now 3 Congress people in New York, which is the largest state as far as population.
Mm-hmm.
The largest city in America is now controlled by a socialistic Muslim. And this woman, she gets elected to be a congressperson out of Denver. And these aren't Democrats. These are socialists. And I can live with a Democrat all day. Mm-hmm. No problem with you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, we may differ in opinion, but I also like some of your opinions.
Mm-hmm.
I do. Dan and I are the guy that, we think that you should be able to go take your above-age girlfriend, your adult girlfriend, to the abortion clinic with your handgun, smoking a joint.
Luke Dennison, $50.
And that's both parties. But never in my lifetime did I ever think that our country would start electing not secret socialists, but chest-pounding socialists to run our government. I mean, what is going on? We fundamentally that's exactly what we completely do not stand for. Like, fundamentally, Republicans and Democrats can disagree. Absolutely, we can. It's been going around for 250 years, the two-party system, which isn't necessarily the most healthy thing. But we've never entertained anybody, red or blue, that identified as a socialist.
I'm about the same age that my dad was when he came to this country. Betting on the promise, he chose Denver to be our home because he knew that this city would welcome us. And that same city just voted to send a 29-year-old recovering lawyer, barista, immigrant,
wait for it,
Democratic Socialist to Congress!
She's spitting in the face of the same country that gave her these opportunities and allowed her to be there.
No. Wait, roll it back, Dan. That allowed her father to be here.
Right.
That allowed her father to travel here and create a family.
Mm-hmm.
And she's spitting in the face of our country. Now, I have no problem with everything that you said you are, except the minute you throw in that you're a Democratic socialist. You could be a Republican socialist for all I care. I absolutely cringe when we have fellow Americans that are putting people that identify themselves as a socialist in party.
Can I ask
in
a
power.
question?
Well, I mean, Bernie Sanders made it cool again.
Yeah, he tried to. He's such a douchebag. But what's she recovering from?
I know. She said recovering lawyer?
What does that mean?
Maybe she got disbarred. Maybe she is
she
an
an
addict.
alcoholic?
Maybe she
was an addict?
Had some type of rehab. I don't know.
She was addicted to some kind of pill? I mean, she's addicted to laxatives? I mean, what was she recovering from?
Democratic Socialist to Congress!
The Jamaican horn.
I mean, let's take a step back and realize how broken we really are.
This girl that's a widow is being betrayed as evil, and we're celebrating a democratic socialist. By the way, communism was so bad that the Italians chose to be fascists to chase away the communists because the communists were so dangerous. That's how bad it was 60, 70 years ago. We don't want to talk about that now, but that's how bad communism is. No one mentions the fact that communism killed probably 200 million people in the last 80 years trying to promote communism. 200 million people. How many people died because of democracy? Not 200 million.
Well, the only people that died in the face of democracy were those that were fighting for democracy. Nobody died because
they were starving them on purpose and trying to weed out the weak.
Right. And you know what? There are more of these, and they're not trying to hide the fact of what they are. They pound their chest and say, we are Democratic Socialists. There were 4 Congress people that flipped the seats from regular Democrats in New York. Madami is the mayor of New York. This woman's out of Colorado, and I think there are a couple in Minneapolis right now.
When she says she's a recovering attorney, I mean, she's not an attorney anymore because she was fired for writing a blog pretty much supporting pro-Palestine protests and views.
But why is recovering mean? I just don't understand.
But here's the deal. Dan, here's the good thing. I got to go to words so I can get into the Erika Kirk deal. But here's the good thing. As funny and fun and whatever they think that they're pulling off now, it's only going to fragment the great Democratic Party, the good Democrats, the Brian, the babyface Matronis and the John Morgans and the people that are true Democrats and believe in, liberal politics.
And they're so stupid, Bubba, because I agree with you. And you know what happened last time this happened? A Republican named Abraham Lincoln was elected when the Northern and Southern Democrats couldn't agree on what their platform was, and they had a lot of discourse within the party, and all of a sudden this tall, skinny guy named Abraham
From
Lincoln
Illinois,
became president.
Hall of Fame wrestler only had. Did you know he was like 36-1?
Yeah, an incredible wrestler.
Yep.
And
by the way, hold on.
And a Republican.
And freed the slaves.
The Republican freed the slaves.
Right.
The Democrats kept trying to pass laws to restrict voting of the blacks in the South after the Civil War. They continued to oppress the black man. And suddenly the black man champions the Democratic Party who spent 100 years trying to screw over the black man. And now you're like, oh, Democrat, I will be a Democrat. Because the only reason that any black person became Democrat in the last 70 years is because of JFK visiting Dr. Martin Luther King and trying to get him out of jail. And Nixon passed up on it. And that was the biggest mistake of both
and LBJ and a lot of his reforms, continuing the JFK initiative. Lyndon Johnson passed a lot of.
Well, that's why Mayor Johnson, praised LBJ and said that the last president he hated on Nixon. It's Nixon's fault.
Yeah,
because he took away a lot of that stuff.
So anyway, I got to get to the Erika Kirk stuff. Give me a few seconds.
Bubba the Love Sponge.
I listen to Bubba every day.
I just really enjoy the outrageousness of it.
We love him. Couldn't do without him.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show returns after these words.
A fucking coffee chick?
Yeah.
Why then you got a PhD in public affairs? Her campaign ran on Medicare for all, abolishing ICE, federal rent control, campaign finance reform, stop funding, stop sending money to Israel. Yeah, you know.
Yeah, hate the Jews. That's the campaign platform now. Hate the Jews and the people that really are the substance of this country. And you go far in politics. And then, you know, they're like, Trump's speech on July 4th was too partisan. All I was saying is, guys, watch out for communism.
Well, he's a Nazi, so.
You're
But he's
bragging
Nazi,
and
right.
saying the scene
He's a
feels like
fascist.
the apocalypse. The flyovers were part of Independence Day celebrations featuring military.
Hey,
A New York Times reporter sparked a New York Times.
I definitely think I sprained my wrist yesterday because I get as hard as I can.
It really hurts. Give it a couple days. I'm not waiting next
Oh,
week.
well, but I'm saying
You
it
could have fractured.
Let me fracture what?
His wrist.
I didn't hear anything. Why?
What? Let me were you jacking it?
No, I got I crashed the gator getting stung by a wasp, and the steering wheel took my did a jerk.
Average Joe's gator?
That could have.
Yeah.
That could
You
have.
crashed it?
Well, I mean, it got stuck and it turned the wheel, and I was getting stung by a mosquito. I mean, wasp.
At the studios?
No. It was at the airport.
It bucked a little bit, sort of.
Oh, bucked big time, yeah.
Yeah, that could have broken your wrist. You could absolutely sprain it. You could have broken it. All it takes is something like that.
I mean, I can go like that.
Doesn't matter. I could do it when I broke my wrist.
It just hurt like
843.
Because the way they wheel
What
grabbed
you could
it.
have done. Is it right here?
And
Here?
See, like,
Here?
Yeah.
Is it here?
Yeah.
So it's not here.
Not really, no.
That hurt.
Yeah.
It does. Loading it up.
I'm about to kill myself.
Yeah.
Give it a few
That's
days.
because
Yeah.
yesterday it was throbbing and it didn't swell.
You'd be crying if I just did those things. And you.
Because right now it is that I just can't.
Yeah, that'll get better.
Yeah. That's my figure. That's why.
But if it doesn't, we'll get you next week.
I iced it, and so.
It takes a couple days. Did you not get this?
Yeah, I was ready for it.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I just didn't want to super.
Okay.
Never been touched like me. I really use touching you, touching
We're waiting for it to get up there. Oh God.
Is that there was a lot of racism. You see, a lot of haters got a lot of things to say about me and my race and how I ran it, but
The reality is that there was a lot of racist, not a lot. It was racist. It was a racist race. It is what it is.
They love to say
But
those
we live in
fucking
America,
words.
and y'all are celebrating 250. Okay, we know what this country. You see a lot of hate.
Bubba Army, listen up. If your Wi-Fi is acting like a busted lawnmower, your cameras look like they're filming with a potato, or your network closet looks like a rat's nest, it's time to call GPZ Cabling. GPZ Cabling handles residential and commercial low voltage work. Network cabling, Wi-Fi, security cameras, access control, racks, cleanup, homes, offices, warehouses, restaurants. GPZ gets it done. Professional and right the first time. Stop fighting bad internet and sketchy wiring. Go to gpzcabling.com or call 813-524-6794. GPZ Cabling. Reliable, professional, connected.
Bubba, the Love Sponge. Oh, come on! Come on, you stupid ass piece of shit!
Bubba the Love Sponge lives because a dirty mind is a terrible thing to waste. The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Don't forget our good friends at Strange Clouds with a Z. I think 4 locations, right?
Yes.
4 locations. Your one-stop destination for all the good stuff. They've got premium Nick pipes, delicious edibles, THC products, kratom and kava, killer glass pipe selection, fresh incense to set the mood at the best prices. Full kratom and kava bars with relaxing lounges located at each one of their locations. Bay Pines, Largo, Clearwater, and Palm Harbor. Mention Bubba Army, get 15% off your entire purchase. Strange Clouds with a Z, Vapor and Smoke Shop. Come get lifted on good vibes. 4 locations serving the Tampa Bay area. Shop online at shopstrangecloudswithaz.com. Thank you. Continuing, I just found this tidbit of soundbite.
Luke Danison gifted 10 memberships.
Thank you, my.
There you go.
Thank you, guys. One sounded a little pussified, did it not?
Yes, it did. Oh, that's good.
I think I got to charge the battery up a little bit.
Is that the DeWalt?
Dr. Dan is looking like he's skewing about 650 on the thumbs up. Let's get him to a G-ball if we could. Appreciate that. That requires you to be on our YouTube channel, which is at The Bubba Army. Pretty much any platform, with the exception of TikTok, is at The Bubba Army, whether it's Instagram, Twitter, Twitch, Facebook, YouTube, Rumble, Kick. It doesn't matter. It's pretty much all at The Bubba Army. Go if you can. Also, send us pictures of you displaying your Bubba Army, if you could, please, to, Bubba Army Pics?
Yes.
Bubba Army Pics at gmail.com. Appreciate you. Furthering the View nonsense. I didn't think this is the heavy. Disgusting. Actress Michelle, is it Buteau?
What she acted in? Has anyone ever seen her?
Chose to commemorate America's 250th birthday by proudly devouring a cake emblazoned with the message, "Do better, bitch," rather than celebrating the greatest country in the history of the world. Let's do better. So she then goes to talk about her affection for the mayor of New York, which this guy's got to be a one-termer. My Lord. And she talks about this woman here who I guess is an actress in some way, shape, or form. I've never seen her ever in my life. And I've never seen her act in anything that I would potentially have watched. Mm-hmm. And she wants to tell you how good Mandami is.
And Mandani is so eloquent. I wish I could just gather my thoughts like that. I just put my feelings on a cake. I think we have that picture. Can we show that picture?
Less cake.
What?
She needs to eat less cake.
Yeah, and boy, what the miracle of studio makeup, lighting, filters, This is her.
Put my feelings on a cake. I think we have that picture. Can we show that picture?
Oh, God.
Yeah. America, do better, bitch.
Why is it spaced so weird?
I don't know.
Yeah, that's what I do. Message it, like it's a message, and I get to eat. That's like where I'm at.
250 years.
Yes.
We can
You
do.
mean 250 pounds?
That's what I was thinking too.
Mandani is so eloquent.
Yeah, he's so eloquent.
He does speak well. No, Mandani, whatever the hell his name is, he does very well. He's a very good speaker. He's a very good public speaker. Absolutely. He's an intelligent guy. I just disagree with his policies, and I think that they're dead-end policies.
I agree
and
with you.
he's a liar.
I think he is a very well-spoken, very polished candidate. I think he's got a horrible platform. I don't believe in anything that he pretty much endorses, but I will tell you he's smooth, and he's a great, great communicator. He really is.
Yep.
And that's about all you really need.
That's all you need now. You need to be brown, communicate well, and hate America. And then all of a sudden,
Don't forget to hate
you're
the-
number
hate the-
one in the Democrats.
Hate the Jews.
Hate the
gotta
Jews.
hate the
Have a
Jews.
swastika
That's where
on
it
your
starts.
chest.
Yeah, you gotta hate
know?
the Jews. You gotta hate the Jews. You gotta hate the Jews.
Hate the Jews.
You gotta have some color.
Hate the white man.
You gotta not be white.
Nope.
You can be anything but white. You got here. If you want to be a successful candidate on the highest level, like
in the Democrat
mayor,
Party,
like the mayor of New York or a congressperson from Denver. I mean, those are very important, high-ranking jobs. I mean, you're the mayor of the largest city in America. You know, ground zero of where our country was built with Ellis Island and the immigration, and it's New York City. It's one of the greatest cities in the world.
Tomato Gus Travis, $30.
And I got, he sent me some new hats, Lummy.
All right.
Sent me a couple new hats because I was wearing my other one out. So thank you, Travis. So you got to be, here's what, you got to first hate Jews. You got to be any other color than white, and you got to hate white people. So hate Jews and hate white people and not be white. And then, just have these outlandish things where you're going to tax the ultra rich and everybody else is going to get a free ride. Mm-hmm. Free food, free buses, free health care. And I'm going to step in as the mayor and I'm going to tell great businessmen like Jay Diaco and Stephen Diaco and Dan Diaco and Jimmy Clevis and Rob Elder and Jeff Geragante and Richard Fabrizi and just all the successful men that I know. I'm going to tell you that you cannot, at Lummy, that you cannot raise your rent on the property that you own, that you've taken a risk on, that you have bought to help your community, to make it better, to create infrastructure, and you can't charge what you want for that home to rent. He's going to freeze rent. Now, I've never heard of such a thing unless you're a socialist, right?
Yep.
So Jasmine Crockett, she just can't take the L that she lost. It's now racist. And by the way, she didn't lose to a Republican. She lost in the primary to a normal thinking Democrat, to a regular Democrat, to a Democrat the way that we know Democrats, a liberal leaning, regular, good Democrat.
Not a person that's like one video away from showing her ass at the Cheesecake Factory.
No. Or a candidate that wants to, allow men to put lipstick on and compete against girls and win the state track championship. Mm-hmm. Or a candidate that wants to allow teachers to be able to communicate with your 12-year-old about what their sexuality may be and how they may be trapped in the wrong body and start the process of transgender, affirmation and not inform the parents of any of this. The parents have no idea that this kid's going to school, getting all of this, direction, if you will, and they're the last ones to know.
Mm-hmm.
You see, a lot of haters got a lot of things to say about me and my race and how I ran it, but the reality is that there was a lot of racist, not a lot. It was racist. It was a racist race. It is what it is, right? But we live in America, as y'all are celebrating 250, okay?
Y'all.
We know what this country is. You see, a lot of haters got a lot of things to say about me and my race and how.
No, what happened, Jasmine, is the good Democrats that live in the jurisdiction that you potentially were running for an office in do not think that you're the qualified candidate of the 2 Democrat, 3 Democrat, 4 Democrats that were listed in the primary, and they voted your community, and the area that you're going to represent chose a different Democrat.
And by the way, it was your party. It was your Democrats in your primary that voted your dumb ass out.
Right.
Well,
And they're tired of your stupid long fingernails, your stupid fake eyelashes, your stupid wigs, your stupid racist comments, your lack of decorum in Congress, and your stupid ass videos. We're tired of this stuff. We are tired of the nonsense that is.
No. I got to correct you. We're not. The Democrats in her district are.
Yes, exactly. Her Democratic Party, her party.
Dan, we don't have a dog in this fight, my friend. We do not vote or not vote for her or the next guy. The people the constituents that she's trying to represent are tired of it. Right, which gives it, which even further makes it a problem. Now, Dan and Bubba and Lummy being dumb and being mad at your dumb ass and sick of your sound bites and your fake fingernails and your ebonomics. We're not the ones that control your destiny. People that live within your community do, and they voted your ass out, bitch.
Well, that's because she lost to a white man.
When it comes to answering the question of what America owes black women, the answer is everything. When we think about the sacrifices that black women have made from the moment that we were stolen from our homelands and transported into this country.
Now, hold on.
Hold
on. Let me stop. And then, Dan, you can come in with filler. But Jasmine, is Steve here?
No, not yet.
Okay.
He's not here yet.
Right.
So,
Just let me know
before he gets here.
Just let me know when Steve's here. Let me know when Steve's here.
Okay,
but listen, Jasmine, dear Jasmine, you, nor your mom, nor your grandma, or anybody that you've ever known, ever got stolen from your homeland and were infused into slavery. Now, there may be some people from your family tree, if you will, that could very well have experienced that, but you didn't. Now, hold on. You didn't. Your immediately family didn't. And 99.9999% of the people that you're talking to had nothing to do with it. So, well, I don't think there's anybody alive that had anything to do with it directly.
No, and by the way, the people that stole the Africans out of inner Africa were other Africans. The other black men were selling black people to the slave trade. That was it. They were going because the white man couldn't get in there, because when the white man tried to infiltrate deeper into Africa, he would die of malaria. And until we had quinine, which was an anti-malaria drug in the mid-1800s, we couldn't, and that's when slavery was already over. We couldn't get into the interior of Africa. We had to rely on other Africans, black Africans, to round up these people that they sold as slaves. So go bitch to those assholes in Africa that rounded up your ancestors and sold them to the non-white people that started the slave trade on the front side.
To the fact that black women continue to stand as the backbone specifically of the Democratic Party, we know that black women are always the ones that are doing the labor, but we are also...
Now you are besmirching your very own party.
Yep.
Saying that the men in your Democratic Party are pieces of shiz, and the only one that does the work. I mean, you can't fragment and alienate yourself anymore from all of humanity. From black people, from Democrats. If you fundamentally don't have black people and Democrats supporting you, then what do you have? That is absolutely 1 and 2 on your base.
The ones that are always the first targets of any harm. So this 4th of July, I say celebrate a black woman that you know, because whether it's an invention that she made or whether it's the very...
Lummy, did you see Luke?
Luke Daniels, $100.
Oh my God.
Woo!
Thank you,
Thank
Luke.
you, Luke, on the super chat.
Dr. Dan
100.
speaking the gospel.
Dr. Dan speaking the gospel, Merkel.
By the way, and this is a guy that has taking care of thousands and thousands and thousands of human beings from
meaning you,
right, from Botox to actually being shot 15 times. And I will tell you that the toughest person in America, the toughest
is an African American woman,
elderly black woman, is the toughest person in America, and the biggest pussy in America is a young black man. Biggest pussy, toughest person, because these older black women have had to do the heavy lifting for the lazy ass black men that don't become fathers. They become fathers, but they don't. They betray their children. They abandon their children, and they leave it on these young black uneducated women to raise them, who have to like pawn them off to their grandparents because they don't have the resources. So these old black women,
you want to learn something?
Are tough as
Hold
S.
on. If you want to learn something as a guy, go and find a 75-year-old African American woman.
Toughest woman, the toughest person in America.
She will tell you how tough and what she went through.
Yep, all
and
respect.
She sometimes worked 2 jobs and raised her daughter or son's babies because they were out doing stupid stuff. And I mean, those are the most resilient, prideful Americans, and you don't see them talking bad about our country.
Nope.
You don't see them. They are classy. They're like almost dignitaries of what is done correctly. And Lummy, can you find me? Dion had the greatest. It was during Father's Day. And Lummy, it's actually him outside of his office, and the backdrop is the Colorado Buffalo Stadium with the mountains and the stadium. And he talks about the difference between fathers and dads.
Okay, on his Instagram.
Yeah, it's on his Instagram or on it, but it's him saying Happy Father's Day, and it goes right along the lines of what Dan just said.
That still hangs by a thread right now. There is a black woman to thank for her contributions.
And you know what? You're right for that.
Yeah, the old black women, not her dumbass, who's really putting shame on younger African Americans. She is an embarrassment to your race.
Here is the Erika Kirk deal. It's quite long.
Erika Kirk has rushed out of the courtroom during her late husband Charlie Kirk's assassination hearing, unable to face the graphic footage.
Court's previous order that the media was not going to film exhibits, and they are filming the ones that are on that screen. So I guess I just need to clarify that, Your Honor.
Kirk left the courtroom before the prosecutors played the video showing the horrific moments. Utah Judge Tony Graff was also affected by the graphic footage, flinching whilst watching the horrifying moment of the assassination.
And here's the thing, man. I have mixed feelings on this because we all have seen it. If you want to see it, you can find it. As it happened in real time, all the news stations did the best that they could to blur it out, but it got out there. Everybody saw it. But it really, really, really is instrumental in how barbaric this ambush and assassination was. And as uncomfortable as it is, I think it's going to be the only way the jury can truly rule on how barbaric this assassination was. And so for that, I think the jury needs to see what really happened. Now, I do think that the judge could do it all. It's called, and legally, Dan will back me on this, it's called in camera. A lot of times when only the jurors, the counsel, and the judge can see it, and the the pool of people in the courtroom and the media cannot see it, it's called in camera. I think that he should make this definitely an in camera, only jurors.
Yeah,
and
but everyone's seen it. I mean, I don't know why we're hiding it so much
I
and pretending like it's like, watching something that no one's ever seen before.
It's really bad.
It is really bad, and I don't think there's a problem with it being shown.
Assassination. Turning Point USA found that Charlie Kirk was horrifically murdered last year on September 10th at the Utah Valley University while debating university students.
God, that poor guy, as he's sitting there, just absolutely doing a great job and arguing and point and counterpoint. Little did he know that it's hard telling how many seconds he had to live at this particular still shot, maybe 5, as you're sitting there, debating students in a spirited type what we do. You know, Charlie Kirk is a prime example of the First Amendment effectively working, where you can argue and you can point and counterpoint factual and unsubstantial, like debate, open debate. And he always had a class of decorum, and he was never belittling. Some people took it as such because a lot of people can't handle the truth.
Well, a lot of times the people would clip it to make it fit their narrative,
out of
not
context.
the whole thing.
Yes.
But we begin with breaking news from the US this hour, and Donald Trump has just confirmed that conservative activist Charlie Kirk has died after being shot in Utah. Charlie Kirk is a strong supporter of the MAGA movement and very popular. He was speaking at a large gathering at Utah Valley University before a single shot was fired.
Tyler Robertson, who is the accused killer, appeared in the court to face the hearing to decide if a trial will go ahead. Commentator Graham Allen, who was a friend of Charlie Kirk, was at the court hearing and revealed Robertson's lawyer was laughing in the courtroom.
As Tyler Robinson was very, very active in wanting to see evidence, but when he would speak to, I saw the back of his head, when he would speak to his lawyer, I could see his lawyer's side profile, and she was giggling and she was laughing, and so that was hard to see.
Allen continued debunking misinformation around Erika Kirk and her in-law parents that they did not like each other, calling it complete garbage, while naming the people.
Why does it really matter? The relationship that she might have with Charlie's mom and dad is not instrumental in this proceeding at all. Has nothing to do with it.
And they've micro-dissected everything that she has done since this assassination, from
absolutely.
every blink, every turn, every time she wiped her face. Everything she has done has been micro-dissected and criticized. It's unfair.
I feel so sorry for her.
Were in attendance, including Donald Trump Jr.
Things I can put to bed, all this crap about Erika and Charlie's parents not being on the same page. Or they don't
what does it matter?
Yeah, it's irrelevant.
It doesn't matter.
It's irrelevant.
The only thing that matters is that Tyler Robinson gets a fair trial and of the assassination of Charlie Kirk, and the jury sees all evidence, both sides, including the tape, and make their determination as such.
Like each other, it was complete garbage. I was on the same row. It was Erika, Charlie's parents. It was Jack Posobiec, me.
Is this the defense trying to throw in some type of window dressing that doesn't make sense, that doesn't really matter, to try to just trip people up potentially and get down a rabbit hole that doesn't matter? I think it is. Yeah.
Don Jr. all in the front row the entire time. When we all went on recess and we're in the holding room, Erika was with Charlie's parents the entire time.
It was the first time Erika Kirk has come face to face with the accused killer of her husband. Erika shared how much pain she was in after losing her husband in a statement saying, "We remain deeply grateful for the support, prayers, and kindness we have received. This outpouring has sustained us during the darkest days of our lives."
And this poor woman has been subjected to just vitriol hate.
Well, just think about the kids too, because when they grow up and they start reading things or hearing things.
Oh. I mean, we think we have haters. These poor people. And what is she guilty of, other than being a grieving widow? Well, people are like, well, she was Miss Arizona and she was a gold digger and she never really liked Charlie. Okay, let's say that's true. What does it matter? She lost her husband in one of the most horrific ways to do it.
The father of her children.
The father of her children. Her husband in a basically a public execution. Not of cancer that he peacefully, died in his sleep, but an absolute, probably one of the most gruesome public assassinations we've ever seen.
Mm-hmm.
Out of respect for the judicial process, we will not be commenting further at this time. We ask for continued privacy as we navigate this process and immense grief. During the trial, the judge rejected the surveillance footage compilation made by the Utah State Attorney Office due to alleged altercations, as it's claimed the state doesn't have the raw footage.
When they were made, what they were made, how much was done to manipulate the video, and I say manipulate to, not saying it in a nefarious way, but I don't know what the scope of that is and how much it deviates from what was the
So Dan, what is this? What's Erika Kirk's counsel asking for, and what is the judge denying here?
They put a compilation of video, and he can't authenticate it and make sure that none of it's
been
doctored or misleadingly edited. And so that's what he's arguing right now.
Is that we don't need to see a compilation. We need to see the raw data.
Let's see the 10 different videos from start to finish. Don't make a medley.
A montage, if you will.
A montage, yeah.
Give it to us in the 10 different forms.
That's accurate.
We'll sit through that. That's not been spliced together and people taking editing liberties, right?
And I'm surprised that just by chance there's not a video that was shot in the direction that the shot came from that would show him actually shooting the gun. I mean, that campus was cameraed up. There's 800, 1,200 people there with phones and cameras.
Yeah.
And not one person caught them. And there's a video of him running off the roof. Well, if there's a video of him running off the roof, where's the video of him taking the shot?
Original form.
Well, Judge, to answer your first question, do we have a version of this particular video that has not been altered? We don't. Not right now. Not today. I guess there's there's.
And by the way, this is Erika. This is actually the state of Utah.
Right, it's the state attorney.
State attorney,
office, and which isn't always the smartest people either.
No,
because they work for almost
a couple
free.
of things I'd simply like to point out, Judge, and that is that we have two witnesses who have watched the raw footage.
And Tyler Robinson probably has a J.D. Acca with a Kevin Hazlett kicker over there.
Yeah,
you know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm just saying, like he's got the dream team over there. I think his parents are somewhat affluent, and maybe a Todd Foster or a very, very sharp mind might take this, pro bono just for the potential, publication, right?
And Snow One, what's the fake narrative that we're buying into? All we're saying is that he was dead, and we're trying to have a fair trial to figure out who shot him, and that she's an actual grieving widow.
Yeah, I mean, what fake narrative do we have?
Did she kill him? Is that what you're saying? Or did Israel kill him? Regardless, she still lost the father of her children, and she's still in a grief mode. And I still think I think it's unfair to vilify her at this point. I think it's just shameful to do that.
So they were saying the fake narrative too is that she's playing up this Christian,
who cares?
This whole thing.
It doesn't matter
to be Christian. God forbid.
It doesn't matter what the hell she's trying to do, has done, will do, where she came from, whether she was a gold digger or not. All that really matters is, did Tyler Robinson gun down the person who happened to be her husband in a cold-blooded assassination at Utah State? That's all that the other stuff doesn't matter.
But what do we sound dumb about? The conspiracy? We've talked about conspiracy ad nauseum. About, was he really the person who shot it? Was an exploding microphone? Did the asshole in the front shoot him?
And the way we get to that, Dan,
is a fair trial.
Is a fair trial.
Exactly.
And what the state attorney is asking for, give us any raw, unedited data that may be out there that we've not seen so that we can piece this together. And throw there was a guy in the back, there was a guy in the side, there was a guy that had a plastic handgun.
Let's see it all.
Let's put it all out there.
Let's put it all out there.
In the rawest form that it comes in, unedited, unmontaged, and just give it to us. And
get experts in there to say, this is how it happened. Experts that are, reliable, and reproducible techniques that the court determines is a true expert.
I don't know how we're in the middle of a conspiracy. I have no idea. When all we want is just the absolute raw data.
And Agent Holt here today on the stand, and Mr. Olson in the form of his written statement, they have both said that this video, with the exception of these alterations, accurately depicts the video that was captured by UVU surveillance video. Judge, I will proffer that those changes made to the video were not done by either.
Retired FBI supervising agent James Galliano shared his reaction to the hearing on Fox News, saying, "There is evidence by evidence as the whole world is watching the hearing."
It's going to be as public as our legal system allows, and that is cameras in the courtroom for all of us to watch.
Yeah, the judge has been very resistant to defense motions to disallow this. And look, you know, as Justice Brandy said, you know, sunlight is the best disinfectant. And I think is more about the ideology, the perverse ideology.
I feel like there's a certain portion of society that's putting her on trial.
Unfairly.
When realistically, regardless of what you think about her, and she was a gold digger and she never really loved Charlie, none of that matters. What matters is who killed him at Utah State on that very, very, very tragic day, and who took, you know, who did it.
That's all I want to know.
That's all that needs to be found out.
Did this weirdo do it, or did someone else do it?
Who did it? And whoever did do it, if we know, needs to be punished.
Yep.
Needs to pay their society to pay their crime.
Tyler Robinson was beholden to comes out. It clearly establishes a motive. And lastly, Bill, there is evidence beyond evidence beyond evidence. We've convicted murderers on probably 10% of what the state has right now. The question is, what does the state choose to show now? And I'll be interested to see how the cross-examinations of witnesses go.
Okay, so we're going to see a lot now. It's all going to be there on camera.
Stephen, do you think, I say no, they don't put Tyler Robinson on stand?
No way. And he's so guilty. It's so obvious he did it. You know, it's just so shameful the way the media has portrayed this conspiracy theory crap. It's just, the guy blew his head off. I mean, we all saw it. We saw it already.
When we return, there's a couple phone lines that are ringing. We'll get to that. And some, man, did you see, I think you did see it. Now there was a lot of craziness going on. I have to read, but this right here,
yes,
makes me absolutely sick. This is the younger generation. This girl's probably the age of Bella, which is Stephen's youngest daughter, or his youngest child, but it happens to be a daughter. Nick's oldest, and then Bella. What's the age difference between the two, Stephen?
28 and 26, if you could believe it.
Okay, and that's probably what this chick is. Maybe a tad, maybe a little bit closer to Trey's age. Mm-hmm. But my Lord, this is a problem, because we have, you know, I mean, I know that we were all taught, and you taught our kids, and I taught mine. Hey, listen, respect the police and do what they ask. And be polite, and if you be polite and you listen, you probably have a chance to get a break. But it all is going to be about how you comply and how you listen, and whether you're a gentleman or a lady or not.
Yep.
And here's the problem. You better hope that it doesn't turn into a bigger issue, because you're going to be in bigger trouble when you get home. If I have to find out, if I have to come now, did Daddy Joe ever have to come get any of you guys out of jail before?
Me. That was not good. And he cocked up. He was ready to punch me, and I was like, "Do it," because I knew that I'd be in a lot less trouble if he struck me in the face, and he did not. But he wanted to. He was right. I was a cocky little 16-year-old punk, and Dad wasn't having it.
And he was ready to lay the boots to you.
Oh man, he was so pissed. And I did get in a lot of trouble. I lost my car. I didn't go to this Jersey that summer. It was a disaster for me.
Yeah. So wait till you this is amazing, the mentality that our young people have, and these titles that they're allowed to use, and how the feelings they're allowed to have. And this poor cop, he tries his absolute hardest. He really does. And these are listen, at one time, I really wanted to be a cop. I thought I really am interested in police work. I love police officers. I love law enforcement.
You always have. Nobody supports them more than you. Nobody.
My foundation specifically supports law enforcement, but I wouldn't wish that upon my worst enemy right now, just in fear of having to deal with weirdos. You're not dealing with
normal
respectful people that respect your authority and will work with you and be respectful. You're dealing with absolute weirdos, woke-ass weirdos that are trying to get you in trouble.
Not just beat you down like yesterday. You showed me that video. My Lord. It's the hardest job in America.
I got that next.
In the Love Sponge monarchy, thou shalt not challenge King Bubba's authority ever.
May, say it, May.
He's not on drugs. He's just weird.
May.
The Bubba the Love Sponge show returns after these words.
Thank you, Lovey.
Dr. Dan was trying to.
Today we're learning
make sure he
about
got his conspiracies in about the Charlie Kirk shooting.
I didn't get conspiratorial.
What do you think?
I didn't get.
I
I
mean,
didn't
the
say
guy
anything.
did it,
I didn't
right?
say shit about
No,
conspiracy.
I was just because chat was going against Dr. Dan.
Oh no.
But I mean, a 30-06 wouldn't get lodged in a vertebrae. That I know.
Why? It would just blow right,
right through the fucking thing.
Oh jeez. Yeah, but then there's always a
Bad load.
yeah, it's a weak load.
Come on. Weak load, he would have missed and not hit high.
It
would have more bullet drop.
Still ice cream, just different flavors. The same is true for cis and trans under the umbrella. And wouldn't you know, there's a lot of space under this umbrella. You can fit trans women and cis women, and no one feels any less comfortable. Time for a pop quiz. The first question says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes women? Oh, I know this. They're a lesbian. The second question says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes men? I know this. They're straight. A+. Good job. Today.
Yeah, I got it. Okay. Now this bitch won't get struck. They won't strike her. But we'll get struck if Dan says take ivermectin.
Isn't that insane? We've lost our minds.
I know, but that's where I'm going with this. I'm like, so this bitch can get on there and say what she just did, but Dan says, hey, take some doxycycline and some ivermectin as an alternative to getting the jab, and we get fucking thrown off the air for 2
And I'm
weeks.
literally taking that stuff right now for arthritis. I mean, it's a really good medicine.
It's a good for cleanse too. I gotta take a piss.
I am in the studio alone. This is crazy. What's up, people out there? I have run of the studio. This is crazy. They left me in here. Can you imagine they left me in the house all by myself? I have run of the studio, guys. What should I do? Bubba had to use the restroom. I think everybody else did. So I am pushing buttons. This studio's incredible, guys. I can't believe they gave me run of the place.
I don't fucking know.
Oh, Dan, when do you go to Jersey?
They told me to start smashing buttons in here.
No.
10.
That is not
Friday.
Oh, you do go Friday?
Do that.
Friday.
All right, so are you missing next week?
Yeah, I think they talked to you about this already.
Let me see. Yeah, I got Jay all
talked to
day.
you. Yeah, Jay talked to you.
I
about
got
it.
Jay all day.
He said he talked to you.
13th and 14th. Jay's actually gone completely opposite from not telling me shit to now way like being Johnny responsible.
Because he got his ass chewed by his brothers over the last 2 weeks for fucking skating and like us to get yelled at by you for him not telling you.
Yeah,
right.
Fuck no, man. No, I got him. He sent me the whole schedule. That's why I knew Steve was coming in.
Are you going over to 4 now?
What's that?
No.
Steve just rolled into Dr. Dan's
He's gonna get a mushroom stamp on his ear if he stays in that seat.
I like typing into to the peeps.
There's a typewriter on the other ones too, Steve.
I know, but I don't have it all set up with the mouse and stuff. It's okay. It's
The
fine.
mouse doesn't work?
I'm not currently. It's okay. I
Is there a
jump in
mouse?
when I get your seat.
Is there a mouse?
I was just having fun with the people because I had run of the studio for about 30 seconds.
Did you text me for 8 minutes? I'm sorry, I didn't see the phone. It was
It's
over there.
fine. There's no worries. It's fine. I got back in my car, air conditioned.
I'm sorry. I just saw the first text and second text.
I just
for
didn't want
8
anybody to
minute
think I'm
parts.
late. That's all. I was like panicking.
He understands it's such a drive. He wouldn't get mad if you were 5 minutes late.
I'm not. I was 15 minutes early. And I used the Great Outdoors, which was nice. I like that. I know that's what you use every time, doesn't it?
No, I go to that bathroom.
There's a bathroom over here.
Out that door to the right.
Oh, I didn't
There's
know.
another door.
Yeah, there's another. Yeah.
Okay, I didn't know.
I'll
I
show
thought
you.
it was
We gotta
just
show
like,
Steven.
What did you say?
We gotta show Steven where the Bathroom is.
I was using the great outdoors, which is so lovely.
I like
Well, explain yourselves. Just like a six-pack of cheap Yiddish beer.
Surprise me. You look like a typical low-life character to me.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
So before I do my woke-ass binary police officer body cam from an arrest, well, I'm sorry, he made contact with a potential drunk driver. And the person identified as a cis non-binary?
Yeah, cis.
Yeah, with PTSD and mental issues?
Oh, yeah, definitely PTSD.
Yeah, I thought cis was like heterosexual.
I don't know what that is.
Listen,
I'm very
Dr.
confused
Dan,
with that
it's so
one.
confusing
So
how
here-
to call people.
I do got this, and Stephen and I watched it because I wanted to make sure I watched it all, so there was for language and what have you. But so remember Dr. Dan Diaco, ladies and gentlemen, who is a real doctor and a lawyer. And there was a time where he used to be a co-host on this program, and he would actually use his patients and not in a non-HIPAA violation type deal, but he would talk about how he was vaguely in a loosely knit way. I got 5 men and 3 women that I'm currently treating for COVID. No names, no other information. And here's the concoction that I'm using. Now, I suggest to you, I am a part of a Harvard, Stanford, Yale, a panel of about 500 other doctors. I'm on a mass email with them, and we share our thoughts and our treatments.
And objective data.
And objective data on how we treat COVID. And here's my current COVID cocktail. Using all USDA approved medications, not any Schedule 1 or 2 opiates or narcotics. Just, the most powerful thing on there was potentially a Z-Pak or a deoxycycline
Or a steroid nebulizer.
With a steroid nebulizer with the potential ivermectin kicker. And we were actually thrown off of one of our major platforms for spreading non-WHO information to the public, because Dan's concoction that he had 100% success rate, that he'd also had consulted 500 or 600 other doctors, and that was using boots on the ground type data. And by the way, he's a doctor. He has every right to prescribe all of this stuff. And was giving his real life opinion as to how it was going.
That was a scary time, Bubba. I was really upset that they'd pulled you off air, which is your livelihood, and then Danny with his license. It was like, we talk about it now, but at the time, it was scary stuff.
He yelled at me weekly.
Yeah. I was so
Steven
upset.
yelled at me weekly for my COVID
because they were
activities.
headhunting. They were headhunting.
And I'm like, you know what? I don't care. And he's like, you're stupid. You put your head down. You're sticking your head up. You're going to get shot. I'm like, I don't care. It's for humanity.
That's just usually a Tuesday. But yes. But anyway, yes. Stephen is very, very hard on Dan, and Steve is very critical of Dan. And
Dan's defiant sometimes.
But here's the deal. I will give Dan the credit and give Steve Steve is overly aggressive on Dan, you're guilty before you're innocent.
Yes.
Steve's point of reference with you is guilty, and then you got to back him down with the facts, and you might get an innocent verdict after you've had to plead.
Well, that was 2 weeks ago where he screamed at me for 30 seconds before I spit out, and he goes, "Oh, my mistake." Freaking kidding me?
But I will say,
Dan, do you sit there and take it, and then after you do, you just unload?
Well, the problem is, Bubba, if when he's in his crazy angry mode, if you confront it directly, it just gets worse, and you won't get anywhere. You just gotta have to ride out the storm. It's like let him empty out his magazine, and while he's reloading, you can attack.
Now is that's not Jay's technique, is it?
Nope.
Jay comes in a little more stealthy, doesn't he?
Jay's so good.
Jay keeps pressing buttons and makes it worse.
And then you pop, and then he's like, "Look at you!
Here's
Look
how Jay handles it. If we're going to be intellectually honest, he calls Steve.
Yeah, but Jay knows how to to get me going, and he'll be like, he'll just say these things, and he doesn't yell, he doesn't scream, and then when I pop, he like, look at you, crazy, and I'm like, oh, I just want to rip his head off at that point. But I love Jay with all my heart, and Danny was my hero during that time. I was very proud of him. He's courageous. He's got the biggest gonads. I just was trying to protect him and you. It freaked me out.
So we got
I didn't want you to get mad because I was sabotaging your revenue stream. That was the other thing he was worried about.
But I was co-signing what you were doing.
You were cool about it.
I mean,
which was also heroic.
You lost thousands of dollars because of it.
Heroic. Thank you.
So here's what I don't understand. In the day and age of getting canceled and them monitoring content that's disseminated to potentially young people and just, the whole streaming platform, whether it's YouTube, whether it's Facebook, Twitch, Kick, Rumble, TikTok, X, it doesn't matter. Streamers now have all types of different platforms for them to spew their opinion, and I don't understand. I think this was on X, Lummy.
Well, her main platform, their main platform.
Miss Rachel.
Well, no, this is not Miss Rachel. This is a trans TikToker.
I'm sorry. This is trans TikToker Lily Tino.
Yeah, she makes all her videos with going like Disney and trying to use the bathroom and being identified.
It's a man.
That is a dude. That's what I was going to ask.
This is a dude who identifies as a woman.
Oh.
So this person is a she. Her, even though he's wired, even though it's wired to be an XY, he's XY, but he tries to roll around as an XX.
Okay.
But he's XY.
Do we know if he's cut?
I think he got the surgery.
Yeah, because that's a legit trans, and I'll give him respect.
I'll give her respect, but I don't like the fact that she's using her platform to potentially teach children. And I don't know how the platform does not step in and listen. They had a problem with me and Dan saying, don't take the jab, just take some of these pills instead. I mean, Dan, at the end of the day, if you were to dummy down what we were saying, that's what we were saying. No jab, take these FDA-approved pills that have been on the market since 1950. Right?
That's true.
I mean,
essentially,
essentially, yes. Don't take the jab. We got a different way that's legal for you to do it. That's
by the way, my going sour on the jab was not, at first I always said when we were talking about this and COVID first came out, they were talking about this mRNA vaccine. I said mRNA vaccines have not been proven. They could be potentially dangerous. But when the jab came out, I wasn't like anti-jab until my suspicions were confirmed with these outrageous complication rates and bad side effects from the shot. So, I didn't crap on the shot the entire time.
When the jab rolled out, you weren't anti-jab until about a month or 6 weeks or so when you started seeing in some of your medical journals and things like that unbelievable complications, and you started reverse engineering it a little bit, and that's where you kind of came up with your magic cocktail.
Right, and at the time also,
your mom got jabbed, my mom got jabbed.
I supported the old people doing it.
Yeah, I supported it, and by the way, I had my concoction before the vaccine came out.
Yeah, no, I know you've been using your concoction for a lot of different things,
and you guys proved to be right on everything. The two of you both, you had the guts to let them talk about it, and Dan talking about it, and it's proven that the vaccines, all the things they claimed it could do, it was not doing. Maybe it was good for older people and people were vulnerable, but most people could fight this off easily with medications that Dan was prescribing.
So anyway,
you were right.
I just don't understand how we got thrown off. We're the bad guys. Dan almost lost his medical license. I almost lost my YouTube channel. And this is but this is okay. And this is celebrated.
Today we're learning about lesbians. Can you say lesbian?
Yeah, I like them. I like lesbians.
I love lesbians.
I love lesbians. There's not a man in this room that doesn't like lesbians.
I love them.
Good job. Here are two lesbians. Miss Chrissy is a cisgender woman. Miss Annie is a transgender woman.
Not the necessary lesbians I'd be hanging out with,
Me neither.
but nonetheless, to each its own.
Yellow's cute.
Lily, how can a transgender woman...
You go out with the yellow one this weekend and get back to me, Danny.
That's not true. The one in the blue dress is transgender. The other one's a normal person that's just a lesbian. She's just a lesbian. You're not going to get very far with her.
So hold on.
But
This is a woman.
That's a real woman.
Okay. Maybe this person's got actually a better message than I thought.
Lily, how can a transgender woman be a lesbian? Great question. Let's put...
I mean, I might, have to do an about face on this. This might be actually some information that I do need.
On our thinking caps. Trans and cis are adjectives that modify the noun woman, just like vanilla and chocolate modify the noun ice cream.
Okay, all right.
They're both still ice cream, just different flavors. The same is true for...
Wrong. They're not both ice creams.
Because
one's a dude and one's a chick.
No, one's an ice cream and one's a gelato.
One's a banana split.
Yeah. One's an ice cream
cone versus a banana split.
One's an ice cream cone and one's beef jerky.
Yeah, different.
I mean, they're not even in the same
They're
class.
not the same,
Right.
exactly. It's
Whereas
ridiculous.
if you say one's ice cream and one's yogurt, that's kind of in the same dairy family, right? But when you say one's ice cream and one's beef jerky, that doesn't equal out to nothing.
Cis and trans under the umbrella woman. And wouldn't you know, there's a lot of space under this umbrella. You can fit trans women and cis women, and no one feels any less comfortable. Time for a pop quiz.
That's a declaration that's not factual.
That's for sure.
You put a bunch of women in the same bathroom with 50% cis women with 50% trans women and tell me how comfortable the cis women feel.
And Candle from Plant City is going to stab one of them.
She will too, bro.
Right.
I'm just saying. Krista might be okay because she just is everybody's friend, but Candle's whipping out the blade.
She's going to protect herself.
Says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes women?
Oh, I don't know.
Oh, I know this. They're a lesbian. The second question says, what do you call a trans woman who only likes men? I know this. They're straight. A+.
No.
Which is so weird.
It's backwards.
I sent you one of her videos, Bubba. I was wondering if Dr. Dan could
break this one down.
Just to see if it is something that could happen.
Can trans women get pregnant? No, sadly not, because we don't have a uterus. But in the future, it might be possible. You see, there's this new thing called...
I don't like the fact that she's wearing a...
medical outfit?
Yeah,
Right.
I don't like that.
Well, maybe she's medical.
Nah,
No, she's
way.
not. She's not.
Yeah.
She's the same one that just did this.
Dan, if she's a doctor, you'll quit being a doctor today at noon.
Yeah.
Please.
No doctor.
You will turn in your resignation papers saying, I am out. Jay, here I come, full force.
uterus transplant, where they take a uterus from a donor and put it into the body of someone who is unable to give birth themselves.
So hold on, Dan. Is
that possible?
Can they take
What?
a uterus?
They probably can.
Dan, they can
Yeah.
take a uterus and shove it up wherever.
Yep.
Where would
right
they?
up your A-frame.
Bubba can have a baby?
Mm-hmm.
Easy with that one.
Bubba's going to have a baby.
Hold on. Dan, when they put a uterus in a XY,
Right.
where would they locate it?
They'd probably locate it they'd probably locate it in the retroperitoneum where the uterus normally is, which is behind your intestines but in front of your back muscles. And they'd probably make the obviously that person would already had to have the bottom surgery to have a vagina, and they just all connect it. And you could have, they do female hearts. When they do heart transplants, they can do cross-gender heart transplants. A male can get a female heart, so there's no reason they couldn't have a female uterus transplant into a genetic male.
Can you imagine Bubba in stirrups?
Yeah.
No,
giving birth.
I can imagine.
Today will be, by the
I've seen
way,
him in
Steve
stirrups.
Diaco's last appearance. I will be contacting Jay immediately saying, since you're in charge of scheduling, Jay, take your brother right on down to 0. He's no longer allowed here due to the fact that he's got Bubba's having a baby.
How much weight would you put on, like, pregnant carrying, dude? You'd be, like,
the worst.
loving
I'd
it.
be the worst. No, I wouldn't.
What would you say?
I don't. You think I
How
like
much weight
being
you put on
fat?
during
You
pregnancy?
think I like being fat? If I put on 40 more pounds of,
But
like,
you can eat when you're pregnant. It's an excuse.
Yeah. You can also become fatter than you already are.
The uterus is in there. Pop a baby.
Let me take, you know what? My Diaco rankings when I have Steve, you know,
Steve is
solidly.
number 4 now?
Well, yeah, he's 4. He's behind Arlene.
I just think it would be funny.
He's behind Sage. He's behind them all.
I'm sorry, Bubba.
He's behind
no babies.
Romina.
No Bubba
Oh,
babies.
Jesus.
I just can't even believe you can do
Romina's
it.
ahead of you, buddy.
That's so
And
bad.
then 9 months later, the baby is delivered via C-section.
So listen, where
So
you
C-section
understand.
saying it's not coming out the vagina
So
they just built.
that means you might not need a vagina. You might be able to have your penis still.
I want a penis and a uterus. Wow.
Uterus transplants have only been performed on cisgender women so far, but there is talk among scientists that it might be possible for trans women in the future. But how is that possible? Trans women don't even have the parts, right? Well, remember when I told you that the baby comes via C-section exclusively, even for cis women. That avoids a whole lot of complexity and risk straight out the gate. The biggest obstacles that seem to be in the way are the blood vessels that line the uterus and support the baby while it grows. Now, we have at least a few decades of scientific advancement before this kind of thing is even possible.
So Dan, they're
but
saying
it could happen.
20 years.
Nope,
This is
5. 5. You'll hear about this. You'll hear about You'll hear about a genetic male getting a uterine transplant and successfully having a baby
before we die
in the next 5 years.
Yeah.
Wow.
I guarantee it.
Let's
5
say
years or less.
I'm dying in 5, so hopefully.
Say that in the
No,
year
you're not.
2072, a trans woman gives birth to a happy, healthy baby via uterus transplant. Is that such a bad thing? Why would we deny someone?
Nope, it's not a bad thing. It's just weird.
It is weird.
Here is this body cam footage, and this is exactly the type of persons that would watch that video and potentially be interested. And like this is today's young youth. This is today's 21 to 26-year-olds.
What's going on?
Nothing.
Why are you driving in the wrong way of traffic?
By the way, now she just didn't get pulled over for, running a stop. She was actually going the wrong way of traffic.
Which kills people.
Which kills people. Like that kills people. That's a major, 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 major situation.
Yep.
No, I just got changed around. I just moved here like 2 months ago.
Okay.
I just got changed around.
Okay. Do you understand what's going on, though?
Yes.
You're going into oncoming traffic.
I know, and I just decided that it was better just to turn around really quick.
Okay.
But I'm sorry. I just have like really bad social anxiety and stuff.
I get you.
I don't want to step out whenever you're asking for stuff.
Okay. Well, we're past that. Just go ahead and step out.
As an indigenous person.
You're an indigenous person.
What does that mean? An Indian?
Yeah, she's American Indian.
Does that mean? Well, she's saying.
Okay.
She's saying.
She doesn't look it, but okay.
Right back here, please.
No, she's a fat white girl from Plant City.
Right.
Miss Perry?
Oh, so smart. Hold on. What trigger? What? Just to let you know.
Geez.
Trigger warning. Trigger warning. Watch. Trigger warning.
Am I?
Well, I'm non-binary, so.
Okay. What do you go by?
It's Kai.
How can I refer to you tonight? Kai? Okay. Hey, I'm smelling alcohol.
So now, cops being cool. How can
cool.
How can I refer to you? Kai. Okay, Kai.
How much have you consumed tonight?
Like probably 3 drink.
I need to run you through some tests right now. Stand facing me, please.
But I just want you to know that I also have very bad social anxiety.
You and me both.
Yeah.
She I had no answer.
This whole stop is. I have so much anxiety over this. I'm glad my body cam's running because the boys back in the shop are not going to believe this.
Okay.
And when you complain on me and said I did a bunch of illegal things, this is going to save my ass when my supervisor sees this.
Any recent head trauma, traumatic brain injuries, anything I need to know about?
Mental, yes.
Focus on my finger, please.
I am. You're just like trying to intimidate me.
I don't know how I'm trying to do that. This is the test.
As you know, as an indigenous person, and there's a bunch of going around, I'm sorry, but it's just for me to be on my toes.
I get you.
Can you remember that I told you that I'm non-binary?
Yeah, I'll try my hardest. I'll refer to you as Kai, right?
Yes.
Perfect. I need to know if you have any injuries or anything that would prevent you from doing a standard walk or a turn tonight.
Mental health.
Any physical injuries?
Mental, yeah. I'm just saying.
Okay.
She could have killed somebody. This drunk moron.
And my question is, who's the parents? Like, if you're you turned out this weird, somebody had to allow you to be this weird, or didn't stop you from being this weird, or helped you be this weird.
The thing I feel there's something here that we're not really appreciating.
What's that?
And she's probably a person that obviously she doesn't take care of herself physically because she's completely out of shape. She's not attractive. She's not interesting. And so probably weird is the only group that she fit in with.
Yeah.
And so sometimes I feel sorry for these people instead of vilifying them. It's just that they are the part of society that no one really likes.
Yeah, but I don't feel sorry for somebody drinking and driving the wrong way on the street and then talking this horse crap with a cop.
Yeah.
She should be already cuffed and stuff.
But you're saying, like, how does a family let the person get into this?
Well, then
and so when you
what-
love your kid,
but
hold on,
but no, let me say, when your kid's going down that weird path and he doesn't fit in or she doesn't fit in, you be a better parent and make them fit into whatever you guys are into that aren't necessarily subjected to so much weirdness and like
I agree.
It's tough though. See, Bubba, I get it, but there's some exceptions to that, and I'm trying to be compassionate a little bit here and not just be a complete dick. But like my daughter,
which is hard for you.
It's very difficult. I'm struggling. But my daughter had a really good friend in middle school that got kind of weird and like psychological, some real true mental disease as she was going into high school. And it became to the point where like my daughter almost alienated her because hanging out with her made her kind of look weird. And so she ended up like, this girl kind of got sort of like banned from the cool girls for no reason other than she was having some real mental struggles, and so she was sort of relegated into this group where this asshole hangs.
Yeah, but such is life. We've all had those peer pressures in life that we've had to navigate through.
Yep.
I was I had to be funny and learn other special attributes in order to be part of the cool club because I didn't look like Clark Charlton and was on the swim team with abs.
Right. If you can't hear, your eyesight gets better.
I was the nose guard on the football team. That's not sexy.
Right. I understand. But it's hard sometimes when your kids doesn't do what you want. You can't make them do stuff. You're not there for the 8 hours they're at school, and they just fall into where they're comfortable.
Yeah, but they're at your house the other 14 hours where you can parent them and say, listen, I know you're catching a bunch of crap from school, but me and your mom love you, and you know what? We'll find things that we can do as a family. I know, Macho. I know. I'm going to get through this, and then I'll do it.
I get you.
What else you want?
Now with your right foot, place it in front of your left in a heel-to-toe touching manner with your arms by your side, just like this, ma'am.
Can you not call me ma'am, please?
I'm trying my hardest.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
It means a lot to me.
I'm trying my hardest.
I don't feel like a man, so.
And Dan, when you're weird and you're weird and you're weird and you're just running life weird, I understand where life can give you a little bit of a break. But when you're using your weirdness to try to get out of a situation that you've put yourself in by, she ends up being 3 times the legal limit. And
my gosh.
Yeah, and she was driving in the wrong way of direction. So she's not she's not using the weirdness as a social situation where kids are being mean to her. She's doing everything
to try to get out of trouble.
To try to get out of trouble.
Right, and then for that, it's shameful.
Right.
Okay.
And that's how I'm analyzing this. Simply her weirdness trying to be an excuse to get out of trouble.
I agree with that.
Not because the kids made fun of her. She's not on the cool club anymore. Right. I understand those struggles, and I do have some compassion for that as well.
Triggering.
Right foot in front of your left. Nope, go back.
I'm sorry, but the whole man thing just like...
I apologize. Let's see if we can...
Because he said ma'am one time.
Yeah.
One time.
This guy's been so good. This is the best cop ever.
One time. Now she's continuing to double, now triple down on it.
Yeah.
Before from it. You have 0 questions?
No, but I just want to tell you that I suffer from really bad anxiety, especially with generational trauma and PTSD around white people and cops. Like
white people and cops. Now the girl that got kicked out of the cool club is not saying this stuff.
No way.
It's just...
I'm going to speak with you right over here, okay?
No.
Yes, ma'am. Go ahead and place your hands behind your back.
Oh, he called her
Don't,
again.
dude.
Don't make it hard.
Please.
Don't make it hard.
No,
You're going to get a resistance.
Dude,
You're going to get a resistance.
I don't.
Don't resist.
Don't.
Listen to me. Don't resist.
Don't. You're being a white man and don't.
Yes, I am being a white man.
Followed all of your shit. Like, as an indigenous person, like, you guys. You guys are scaring me.
There's nothing to be afraid of.
Yes, there is. It's called generational trauma.
Whatever. By the way, Bubba, I have no anxiety going through life, but if a cop has his lights on behind me, I'm shaking.
Yeah, of course.
I have anxiety. Yeah. If I'm getting pulled over for anything, I'm handing the cop my driver's license, my hand's a little shaky because I'm a little anxious.
And you're not telling him you
wrong.
got PTSD from generational anxiety.
No, I'm not calling. I'm telling them change the pronouns. I'm not messing with the cop. I'm trying to be compliant and be cooperative, knowing that I had done nothing worse than maybe go
Dan's
6
trying to
miles an
figure
hour.
out how he can throw I'm a doctor into the
If you want a deep dive into the Bubba the Love Sponge show from the past, go to BubbaArmyHQ.com. We'll be back after these words.
Or is that not in play?
I'll tell him I'm a surgeon. I won't say I'm a doctor. I'll say I'm a surgeon.
He goes
So
above
knows I'm a
doctor.
But I try to spit it out early
Right.
before he has even a chance to say Mr. Diaco. Before I give him my driver's license.
He's a beyond doctor, surgeon.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not a podiatrist.
He's got his nitro glove.
I'm not a podiatrist or a dentist.
I'm not a doctor of education. Bye, Dan. Love you. Bye, guys. Have a great day.
Surgeon, and the cops never fuck with surgeons.
Nope. No, they really
Because
don't.
they're like, man, that guy. Cops have this mentality that this doctor could be on call when they get shot, and that guy can either work hard for me or not work hard for me.
That's a fact.
That is a fact. I know. I mean,
You know, when Dad died, and Chad Chronister had the guys on the motorcycles. Did
Yeah.
you know that?
Yeah.
You were there, right?
Yeah.
My head was out of it.
Don Hess.
I
Don
lost
Hess
time.
runs that division.
Chad asked me afterwards. I couldn't even thank the guys that day because I was so emotional. It was the most beautiful thing. And so Chad's like, what did you think of it? And I said, he said, what do you think your dad would have thought of it? And I said, honestly, he would have loved it, but he wouldn't have liked that it was taxpayer money. And he goes, Steven, they all volunteered their time.
Yeah.
I'm like, what?
Don Hess.
And they had practiced all day, and I'm like, why? And he's like, these guys know your dad saved multiple police officers in his career.
Yeah.
And that's why that was the love and I couldn't stop crying. It was so beautiful.
A guy named Don Hess runs the motor unit in Hillsborough County.
Yeah, we gave them all really cool gifts from our family. 6 months later, tumblers that had the Hillsborough County Sheriff's Office motorcycle division, the Harley logo. It was really cool to just give them a thank you. It was amazing. That was incredible.
That was cool.
But just like you said, they know those surgeons saved their ass.
No, listen, I know cops, and they're like, man, anytime I pull a doctor over, and he's a doctor that works at the hospital, or potentially, I do not, because that guy can remember me, and if I'm ever on his operating table, he can work his ass off to save me, or he can say, yeah.
And Dad would do the same thing. Since I was a kid, he never got tickets. Never. He just let him know he's a surgeon, and that was it. Slow down, Doc.
Yeah.
I know Jimmy Clevis is out there listening. He says hello.
Jimmy listens every day.
Every day. And he's taking care of his dad. He's being a good son.
Is his dad sick?
He's just been,
He's just old.
he's in his 90s. Yeah,
I think he's like mid-90s.
Yeah, and he got the flu and it knocked him down, but he's doing better. But Jimmy's been staying at his house every night, sleeping there. He's such a good son.
Jimmy and Big Red.
Big Red. Big Red. Ooh.
So let me tomorrow, our guest at 12:15.
Yes.
Okay.
Do I identify as a lesbian?
And at 5.
Fucking serious right now. Bruh, I know we ain't fucking serious right now. Get the fuck out and push that motherfucking kid in, bro.
Okay, we listen and we don't do. Okay, this is all I'm gonna say. Once again, y'all, if you watch the things, we listen and we don't judge. Okay, okay.
Clouds Vapor and Smoke Shop, your one-stop destination for all the good stuff. They've got Nick Vapes, delicious edibles and THC products. Also a wide selection of kratom and kava, killer glass pipe selection, and fresh incense to set the mood, all at the best prices. Full kratom and kava bars and relaxing lounges located at each one of their locations. Bay Pines, Largo, Clearwater, Palm Harbor. Mention Bubba Army and get 15% off your entire purchase. Strange Clouds Vapor and Smoke Shop. Come get lifted on good vibes. 4 locations serving the Tampa Bay area or online at shopstrangeclouds.com.
Listener supported Sponge. It's the Bubba the Love Sponge Show. Listener supported via PayPal, Venmo, Cash App, all at the Bubba Army. Now returns.
Steve slid over. Dr. Dan's out of here. And then we'll have Jay for 4 hours next Monday and Tuesday as Dan hits the Jersey Shore. Now, Steve's, when's your Jersey deal? After Dan's?
Yeah, I was supposed to go for August, and but now Chris has got to get her foot cut again, so I may go at the end of August for a week.
Was she having foot problems?
Yeah, she had a foot surgery, and it failed, and so she has to go back. And it's horrible. That surgery she's had a lot of surgeries in her life. That was the worst, and it was during the hurricane.
Was it like a bunion kind of deal?
It was like something like that, and her toe, like a hammer toe, like it started going towards her other toes and started messing them up.
Like almost like an athletic turf toe kind of deal?
Well, she ran her whole life,
right,
and in Florida State too, and so just years of beating that body up, and her feet were a mess. We went into this guy. He's like, I can fix it.
She had like a female version of an athletic turf toe from running track so much.
Yes.
And running track is just pounding your feet.
And she did distance. She was like, I met her in humanities class at 8 a.m. She had already that morning run at like 5 in the morning on the golf courses at Florida State and would run like 15 miles. I mean, it was distance.
How the hell did she hook up with you? She probably had all the football guys and all the other people in the training,
idea.
And all the other people that were in the training facility because they train. Yeah, they train kind of together, or at least from the same facility, and the weightlifting and things like that.
And that was the Dion days. Dion was hitting that stuff.
She was there during the time.
Yes.
Hot as hell, long distance runner. Where'd she grow up at?
She grew up in Orlando.
In Orlando. Mm-hmm. And how did your Italian ass hook up with that?
I just worked it. I work harder than everybody else, Bubba. You know that.
Yeah.
Because she had all the athletes on her.
Sure.
I mean, it was because they work out together. They ate together.
And I got to tell you, man, one of her most, and I'm not trying to be creepy, although everybody's going to say that I am, because your wife was a long distance runner and has always ran, your wife has one of the most incredible asses.
Isn't it good?
I mean, when we go out and stuff like that, and I look at her, I'm like, oh my God, it's like she arguably has one of the most athletic asses of all the women, like all the wives.
Thank you. I love it. Yep.
But that's from running. That's from running.
Oh, 100%.
So that gave her like a kind of a hammer toe, and I've seen it because Dion, that's while Dion's turf toe issue started, and the second toe starts kind of going over the big toe.
Yes.
And that's how it starts.
Yeah, and it was her big toe going into her other toes. It was the other way. But so then they fused the other toes. She can't wear high heels anymore, which was crushing for her. You think something else would bother her.
Well, yeah.
But
Plus that jacks up the ass too a little bit more.
Exactly.
Right?
So now she's got to get all this hardware out. We're having another surgery.
So hold on. She had one.
Yes.
She went to one and had a major surgery.
All kinds of hardware. If you saw the X-ray, you wouldn't believe it. And the toe had like this big pin in it that they kept in there for 2 months. And then we go to get the pin out, and it's like way into the big toe, and it's got a ball on the end, like a big ball, pin, like and I'm like, how are they going to do this to take it out? Are they going to anesthesia? What are they? And he goes, nope. And he just grabs a wrench and pulls it right out of her foot. Like it's 3 inches long out of her foot. It was crazy.
Did she go through the roof?
No, she took it like a champ.
Well, she popped out 2 kids. So
yeah, she's
let's
high
not
threshold.
forget that women are. They're more tougher than us guys.
Way
We're pussies.
Way more.
I mean, Dan will tell you right now, man. He gets a guy in there, and like when Merch Crick and I go in there for Botox occasionally, man, I'm in there like a little baby, telling Dan, put it re-rig, new sharper needle.
Right.
Man, Erika's over just getting stuck. No big deal. Us guys are
Women
the
are
biggest
tough.
pussies
Yeah,
ever.
that's a
so
fact.
her first one that she did
Yes.
didn't take, so to speak.
Yes.
So now she's got to go back in.
Yes, and so that screwed up our summer plans, but she's tough. We'll get through it. She'll get back on her feet again.
So Jay's there now.
Yes.
And then Dan goes up next week.
Yes.
And then will you be the following or the surgery?
Well, I normally
might put it
go
off?
for the month of August because I don't have a real job like those two. And
Right.
so I'm gone and get out of this heat. But this year, because of the surgeries, I don't even think I'll get up there till maybe the 20th, stay for 10 days. It'll be a short one.
20th of July or 20th of August?
August.
Oh,
yeah.
wow.
Which is also when the waves come, so that's good. I'll make
now,
it work.
and Arlene's there the entire time.
The whole time,
She
holding it
doesn't
down.
come back till like Halloween, right?
Correct.
Yeah.
Exactly.
So she's like Halloween till like what? Easter here?
She stays here from Halloween till end
That's
of
what I'm
May,
saying.
June. She'll stay later because she wants to be for graduations and awards and sports, whatever.
But
and then she bounces.
now does she fly up, drive up, or
We fly her up, and then we have her car driven up there with one of our family members that works for me. That he does like everything for our
So
family.
then she has her car.
Yes.
Now, did she have a whole set of friends and infrastructure up there?
100%, and she's really
Plus her
active in the
sister,
church.
right?
Her sister's right upstairs. Yep. So.
But isn't her sister completely? I mean, isn't she like the most liberal? And some of the biggest family fights have happened between I don't know, is her Aunt Tina?
Aunt Tina, yes.
Yeah,
they're
hold
all
on.
upstairs.
I'm not even Diaco, and I know who the villain
That's
is.
impressive.
Aunt Tina.
Yes.
And I think don't her and Dan battle?
Yeah, and her kids are all super liberal and very accomplished, and our family's pretty conservative, and so there is that tension, but it is what it is.
Isn't Aunt Tina,
we all love each other.
Is Aunt Tina a doctor or a lawyer?
She has her master's degree and was an educator her whole life.
Oh, okay.
Her husband was a lawyer, but was a big executive with Westinghouse. She has 2 daughters that are doctors, which is incredible, and her son, MBA, CPA, and he's the CFO of a big company.
Man, look at all the kids. And how successful they've been.
Yeah, it's amazing.
I mean, our kids are, probably. Right?
Well, we don't do sports like. There's no nose guards in our family,
I
Bubba.
know, but still. I'm just saying. I mean, your kid, Nick, it's hard telling what he's going to end up being other than probably a multi-millionaire.
You want to hear something cool about him? Can I brag on him for 1 second?
You know that I'm a huge Nick fan.
He loves you too, and he sends his regards. When he's down here, I'll come by and say
come
hey.
on the show.
But he started a company. He's getting his doctorate this summer, and
now he did 4 years of undergrad at Cornell.
Yes.
Right. Then
yes.
what?
5 years
at MIT.
Yes.
At MIT.
Yes.
So now he's
he'll have his PhD.
So he'll have his doctorate.
Yes.
Wow.
Another Dr. Diaco. Although he will probably not go around saying, call me doctor.
He won't make you call you doctor.
No.
So then he's doing a startup.
Yes.
Right?
And guess who just joined the company and is on the board of directors? And an MIT graduate, which I did not know. Henry Ford III.
Oh. Really?
Has joined his company.
The direct descendant of Henry Ford, the guy who started Ford Motor Company.
Yeah, he's still on the board of directors for Ford. He's huge.
Really?
Yes. Yeah.
And when are they in the raising capital.
But they raised $1 million right out the gate, and they already have space, and they're selling these special exotic resins that they produce because he's a material science guy to other manufacturers. Ultimately, they're going to ask for a huge amount of money, and they want to build and manufacture out of a foundry, which is metal parts and pieces. That's what they want to get into.
So they are they making new composites that are not currently available?
Yes, and what they're doing is foundries use 3D printing now, and they make the forms that they pour the metal into with the 3D printing. And his new technology eliminates all of the labor component of it, makes it cheaper, faster, better, cleaner. You can recycle the materials. And so he's using his technology to advance manufacturing, and he wants to be in the game.
Now, didn't you say that they were potentially going to or maybe have the company based out of Boston, but because of just how woke and just various other struggles that they may not be Boston-based?
Yeah, they will not manufacture in Boston. Now, they may have a presence there just because there's so much brain power, Harvard, MIT. It's just, there's so many universities there. It's incredible. And money. There's a lot of money that goes through there, all the hedge funds and the venture capitalists. But manufacturing, he'll go to a place more friendly, which is like places like Florida, Tennessee, Texas, Arizona. There are places that are really conducive for manufacturing.
I guarantee you, probably not Portland.
No.
Now this is what Portland. This is Portland, Oregon.
Yeah, it's a weird place.
And they're really, really, really liberal. And I don't know what is wrong with these people. But it says, welcome in the streets of Portland, an absolute crisis is being ignored by the very people we pay to end it. So have they cut back on mental health? Have they cut back on helping the homeless? Is there a drug epidemic?
Oh, there's a drug epidemic. Oh, she's a little nub.
Never been touched like me.
These are the people that are walking the streets of Portland.
Oh, God. And I really use touching and punching. Flip-flops.
That's Dan in about 10 years.
Yeah, right. Can you imagine?
Hold on. Let me stop it again. So this is after Dan and Steve just had a showcase showdown, and this is Dan when nobody will listen to him anymore, right here.
You okay?
Now, as much as we laugh,
that's sad.
Think about it. The first one probably wasn't elderly, but the two guys here, that's somebody's grandpa. That's somebody's dad. That's somebody.
Right.
And I feel so bad, and we laugh because they're back crap crazy. But inevitably, man, we need to help these people.
Yes.
And they don't need to be walking the streets. They need to get help.
Yep.
And yes, it's funny. Peripherally, it's funny. But if you take it a step further, this is somebody's dad.
Yeah.
And where's the person? Where's the son or the daughter who is the child of this guy? Or where is the grandkids? Or just where is the social workers?
You can't leave these people on the street.
No.
And my buddy Gene in Orlando had a bar in downtown Orlando, and it had an entryway very much like that. And they finally moved out of it, and they were meeting the landlord to give over the keys, and the guy was really trying to get them to stay, and he's like, look, when they're opening the door, they had to smear human feces to get the door open. And then the landlord says, I get it. Because you can't leave, they're defecating in places like that,
right.
They're living like that, and it's just filthy. It's immoral to let them live like that. It's horrible.
It is, and you got to round these people up and get them help.
Yep.
And get them off the stakeholders that make up your community business-wise, because those people are just as important. And when you have these people that are messing with the stakeholder restaurants and boutiques and other coffee shops and clothing stores, and when these people start messing up and disrupting business of your stakeholders in your community, then it's a no-win situation for one, your stakeholders.
Yep.
The people that have, skin in the tax code and in your business, and then these people who clearly don't need to be on the streets.
They need help.
They need to be institutionalized and helped.
And it can happen to our town, Bubba. I mean, I was just at Fort Beachy in Hyde Park. And I'm walking in there, and there's this crazy guy messing with every single person that came in. So I, of course, called the boys and like we got to handle this. And they're like, oh, the mayor said not to touch him. The cops were there, explaining to us his rights of First Amendment. I said, you guys got this all backwards. He's begging for money. He's disrupting business. Get him out of here.
Scaring people.
And then I said to Jeff, I said, if they don't, I will. I don't care. You can arrest me, do whatever you want. I'll pull him by his dreads out of there. I'm not having it. Not in my house. It's crazy. That's so sad. But do you want to go to a restaurant with a guy like that in the front?
I don't.
It's just sad.
So it's a double-edged sword.
It's horrible.
You got to get these people off the streets because they're scaring people that potentially, how many people are not going to walk through that business's door when that guy's acting this way in front of it? I'll tell you, a lot.
Everybody.
And so listen, you're proactive in rounding these people up humanely, and you get them help.
Yep.
And then if they will not accept help, because a lot of these people aren't even interested in getting help, they just would rather live on the streets, unfortunately you have to incarcerate them.
Well, you know what they used to do? Remember that when we were kids, they have the padded truck show up, the white truck?
Yeah.
They were involuntarily placed into homes. If they couldn't take care of themselves, they were a threat to themselves or to others, they went bye-bye.
Yeah.
They were gone. And that's what needs to happen again. Look at that. So sad.
I think that might be one. I think that's Dumb. Dumb and Dumber that wash Dan's cars. I think this is one of them.
Dan's guys.
Yeah, this is a guy that details Dan's Ferrari.
Ooh. What is he doing?
Help, brother?
Ugh.
What's your name? Quick question, brother.
And most of these people are on some type of drug, some type of major hallucinant that's causing them to act this way, which is not good for the streets either.
Yeah. Nope.
But I think we've defunded the police and defunded the people that potentially round these people up, that I don't know that these people necessarily have to do anything other than do what they're doing, which will destroy a city and a downtown quicker than anything.
Yep.
In fact, there was an article in yesterday's Tampa, the Tampa Times, of 20 restaurants that are in the Tampa Bay, St. Pete area that are either closing or rebranding, one of which was Jeff's, formerly when Jeff was part of the Chichio group, the Daily Eats.
Yeah.
They're getting ready to rebrand and do something different because the restaurant space is shrinking because of price, because of inflation, and just because outside of big franchised, restaurant, mom and pop, and Jeff Girigante is considered mom and pop, although on the larger side of that, it's tough to be in the restaurant business. Jeff is so blessed by his concepts and how well he stays on top of the his group of investors and his group of chains or restaurants that
He's done an incredible job, but but
he's the exception. He's absolutely the exception.
And in these states where if they had closed us down like they did California and New York, he'd have been out of business.
Oh, yeah.
He'd been over. And a lot of companies still struggled and suffered. He reinvented himself. He was serving on the streets. He got them to open the streets, the mayor to do that. He was just working his butt off to survive.
How's the new Fort Beachy and St. Pete doing?
Oh my gosh. It is crushing it.
Killing it.
400 seats. It's his biggest restaurant he's ever opened. It's stunning. They had live music. I went Saturday. Had so much fun. The food's great. The space is amazing.
It's right down by Jimmy's, isn't it?
Yeah, it's at the Sundial.
Yeah, the old Sundial.
And then the whole entry area, they had that huge courtyard. Remember that?
Yeah.
Where they used to have trouble there when
Yeah.
kids were messing around there. He's turned that into a bar called Drift. It's not finished yet. That's going to be the next phase. But it's an outdoor space that's all covered, big TV screens for sporting events, a stage for music. They'll have music out there.
All under his management.
Yes, he's running it all.
Now, the old Marino's up, is that where is he in that space, the old Marino's upstairs, or is he in the downstairs?
I don't know it was called Sea Salt. It may have been Marinos before that, but it is that big space on the second floor.
Sea Salt came after because Marino was the first.
That's the space then. Yeah, that's it, Bubba.
Oh, that's beautiful.
It is.
Lemmy, when we return, this woman here, she's on her 9th kid.
Oh, that's great.
She's 27.
No
she
way.
just got pregnant by a 64-year-old, and she wants to talk about how much she can make per
That
kid.
chick's 27?
This chick's 27. She's getting ready to have her 9th kid, and she talks about how it's, a job. It's a job.
Yeah, it is.
It's an absolute job. Even by a person that's not trying to work the governmental, you get paid X amount of dollars per kid. I can't even fathom having 9 kids.
Yeah, jeez.
I mean, I couldn't even handle one. I was not necessarily the best father.
You were a great father.
Well, thank you. We'll get that next. Stand by.
Let's all take a moment. Remember, this show is about words, not actions.
Okay, there is a God.
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge show after this.
Yeah, I'm going to play these.
Yeah. What's up, Joe?
And the streets without receiving consistent long-term care. Families often want to help.
Oh, yeah, this
Certain-
is just...
The first wish would be I would put a down payment on a condo in heaven. Second wish, I would wish that everybody is healthy and happy. And the third wish, I'd say, give me the first one back.
A few years ago, seeing a tent on a sidewalk in Portland might have felt unusual. Today, entire blocks can look like outdoor city. Early in Portland has a homelessness problem. Problems that are quietly spreading by many experts believe grasp.
But let me, where do they live in the wintertime? Because, Portland, Oregon gets,
Yeah, it gets cold.
Still unable to maintain cities across America, and Portland has not been spared. Listening addiction, consistent long-term care. February 2025, 1,277 people were newly identified as homeless, while only 865 people were
I guess they
reported
go
as
to
living
emergency
homeless.
shelters.
How residents feel trapped between appearing across America, rising housing costs, growing economic pressure, mental health struggles. The way thousands of people prepare for another night without a permanent is a reminder that stability can dissipate. The tents are what people notice first.
Would be
Yeah, but they weren't off the same offices, look. Go ahead.
Pretty fucking racist, by the way. Are you a Klanman? Your shirt's pretty fucking racist, by the way.
So this black woman just happened to be recording in Walmart when she caught a white woman shoplifting. Everything was already on camera. Me? And the
Hope he
black
didn't have
woman is
to
like,
go.
yeah, I did.
Oh, he's so bad. Here you go. So I left it better than I found it, Bo.
What's that?
You don't like sharing your bathroom. I left it better than I found it.
Okay.
I appreciate you letting me use it.
I don't use that one. Dan and Macho Man do.
Oh, okay. Because, yeah, you usually have your own thing. You go to the house?
Yeah.
A woman was arrested after smashing things inside a Walmart. It all started when the cashier told her that her credit card was not working, but the woman insisted there was nothing wrong with her card. She said she had no unpaid balance and could
I
not...
like this studio better than the old one, man.
Yeah, this
is amazing.
Thank you.
Great job.
So let me, right after the show, I gotta go lay some bass.
He stepped out.
Oh, okay. Hey, Lum.
Yeah.
Oh.
I'm good. Here.
Right after the show, I gotta go drop bass before I record my gimmick.
Okay.
Or I can record my gimmick if we had it ready, if we know what it's gonna be. But I don't know.
Well, I thought it was that breath one.
It's which one?
The breath one, the black guy, the breath.
Oh yeah. Yeah. I can record that.
Okay, so you want to do that real quick before you drop bass?
What happens if you flush toilet paper?
It's all right.
Okay. Somebody was saying.
A white girl was questioned and chased by a black escalated
Well, don't bring that guy up.
The woman continued to chase her, making the atmosphere tense and right to question, harass, or even...
So a black woman stands her ground and it's a problem? Sounds about right. So on Tuesday in North Lauderdale, Florida, at a Walmart of all places,
Crystal Harley is your official Harley-Davidson dealer for the Nature Coast. Crystal Harley-Davidson has the best selection of new and pre-owned motorcycles, as well as official HD merchandise and parts, live bands, food, and beer every weekend. Crystal Harley continues to recognize and support active duty military, first responders, and veterans. HD Hero customers receive an extra $500 Hero cash on select new motorcycles. Rates as low as 1.99% with zero down for qualified customers on select new Harley-Davidson motorcycles. Don't know how to ride? No problem. Learn to ride. Sign up today for the Crystal Harley-Davidson Rider Academy. When you roll up in there, make sure you tell them Bubba Army and receive a free helmet with motorcycle purchase. Their website is unbelievable. Check the new and pre-owned inventory right there online at crystalharley.com. Always tell them Bubba Army.
I'm the bus lady. Hey, lady! I was so constipated I could hardly drive.
Sounds like you should call and tell Bubba all about it. It's the low-priced answer to a high-budget problem. You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Can we hit 1,000? We are exactly 52 away, and we got 22 minutes.
Let's go.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah, 22 minutes. Let's go. Show Steve Diaco.
I need the love.
Yes, Steve needs to love, my friend. So, don't forget, let me, today, we'll have my Bubba, I'm sorry, what are we calling it? I bet you didn't know, or what Bubba's Daily Reactionary, I don't know what that
we were just calling it Bubba Reaction.
Yeah. So today I got, well, I'm not even going to tell you what we got.
And then we got the body cam getting released for members at 10:30.
At 10:30.
Yes.
And then I got 3 Pete and Bubba podcasts done. No, 4. I got 4 done.
You did 2 yesterday, right?
I did 2 yesterday. One on this guy named Isaac Keys, and another one on the man, Steve, wait till you hear this podcast. I got a guy that spent 25 years in federal prison, and he's still on federal probation. And so he has to get permission from his federal probationary office to even come and join, do this podcast with me. But he knows a lot. Having been in the federal pen for 25 years.
Can you imagine that much of your life lost?
God.
Ugh.
And so anyway, we've broke down 3 serial killers, but then he actually, did time for drug trafficking. So he truly knows the ins and outs of the drug cartel business. And yesterday we broke down probably one of the most comprehensive breakdowns of how the U.S. the Mexican cartel U.S. drug business, how it works. And what people don't really realize.
That's interesting. That's really fascinating.
And that, we all think that, that Chapo guy was, the main dude. Did you know there's 66 of those dudes?
No.
No, you did not know that. And did you know that every ounce of cocaine goes through L.A.? It goes to L.A. first, and then it's got 4 distribution points. Chicago, New York, Charlotte, and Atlanta.
All the corrupt places.
Yes, and you can only, if you're a first-level buyer, you can only buy if you have family in Mexico and they know where your family lives, the cartel.
Ooh.
Yes.
That's smart.
Yes, and so, and your minimum purchase is 150 keys at $3.5 million.
Wow.
That's your minimum purchase.
That's a lot of coke.
Yeah, so... I mean, this guy. The things I didn't know, and it's 2 hours long. It's probably going to be at a month.
I got to check it out.
It's going to be a month from now, probably. But I'll send you a link once we finally get it.
That's amazing. What a great get.
Oh, and then the largest drug dealer in the history of our country is named Jay, not Diaco, Jay. I forget what Flores. You can look it up. Let me look it up. Jay Flores, largest drug dealer in America.
Wow.
And he actually is the guy that wore a wire on Chapo. And Jay Flores was based out of Chicago. He lived in Guadalajara. So here's the thing, Stephen, that people don't know. Jay Flores he never bought 1 ounce of cocaine on American soil. He bought it. All the transactions were in Guadalajara. He had them shipped to Chicago, and that's how they would distribute. And he was making so much money. I don't know how many hundreds of. I mean, I think he was. I think Pete said that. I think Jay ended up doing between $3 and $4 billion of cocaine sales. Did it come up at all?
Yeah, it looks like his
Am I right?
name is I'm trying to read Margarito Flores Jr.
Yeah, and does it say that he was the largest drug dealer in the history of America?
It looks like, he was one of the ones that helped take down El Chapo.
So he wore a wire, Stephen, to take down El Chapo because he was tired of being in the business and always looking up over his shoulder. So he gave himself up to the feds, wore a wire on Chapo because this guy was on such a high level, he could actually get a meeting with Chapo.
Wow.
Because he's doing $4 billion worth of business out of Chicago. He's the guy, the main informant that took down Chapo. Now, my guy Pete knows Jay.
Wow.
Did time with Jay. And that's what they call him. In prison was named Jay.
Yeah.
And he might, if we put a black pixelation over Jay may travel to come do the podcast.
Wow. That's sick.
Yes.
Now, what happened to the guy that did the wire on Chapo? Did he get out of the game?
That's Jay. And he wanted out of the game. He wanted out of the drug game, so he went to the feds and turned himself in. Say, hey, listen, I'm arguably the largest drug dealer in America. I run the Chicago hub. All of my stuff comes from L.A. I pay for it in Guadalajara. And they gave him a super, super sweetheart deal if he wore a wire to get Chapo, and he did.
And so he kept his money, and he's out of the game.
Well, I don't know how much. I don't know how much money he kept. I'm sure some when you have that kind.
You got to.
He went and did his time. And he's a free man now.
Yeah, unbelievable.
But he
story.
was at the time he was the United States of America's largest drug dealer in the history of our country.
Wow.
Okay, we listen and we don't do. Okay, this is all I'm gonna say. Once again, y'all, before I spill the beans.
Now, by the way, this woman's got 9 kids, or she has 8 and gonna have her 9th. She's 27. Her brand new baby daddy is 64. And she's going to spill the beans that she's now pregnant again.
We listen and we don't judge, okay? We ain't judging.
We ain't judging. No judging.
Judging point blank period at all. So y'all be asking me who my little girl daddy is, who I'm pregnant by. Everybody want to know who Quay pregnant by and who her daddy is, okay? And who that baby daddy is. So I'm finna go ahead and give y'all the tea.
A little bit of a language barrier here. I'm having a tough time understanding her.
What is she speaking?
And what is that hairdo she's
I don't
doing?
know. It's called the El Natural.
Yeah. So yeah, my baby daddy is 64 years old. Yes, I said 64. I know. Girl, you ain't even 27 and your baby daddy is 65. Yes. You know, we gotta do what we gotta do, but we listen and we don't judge, okay?
Okay.
Yeah, but would y'all like a story time about my baby daddy and how I met him? And when did the baby conceive? Let me know in the comments, because I can come back with a story time about, you know, that 64-year-old. Yes, he's married. That's why he's not in the picture. That's not why he's not here.
He's not in the picture because he's married. But he got her knocked up.
I'm not gonna say in the picture, but he's not here. Yup, he married. Of course, he's 64. I'm 27. Which I thought he wasn't married.
But don't judge.
Yeah.
Don't judge. No judging.
Married. Yup, he surely is. He's married. But it's none of y'all be in it though.
And I got news, old girl. That little bit of whatever dip-diddy-do you're doing to your hair does not really matter.
I don't even know what's happening.
Like, it's not going to make you a little bit hotter, sweetie. Like, you know, it really doesn't matter.
It kind of thins her face out.
And y'all look, time will tell, okay? When the baby get here and she look old, just know I told you. Her daddy is 64.
The baby look old.
When the baby get here and the baby look old, know that I tell you.
Oh, my gosh.
All right, when we return, this is the other side of human trash that has, you know, I don't know that having 9 kids is necessary by a 64-year-old being your last baby daddy and him being married and probably not being able to participate in this child's life. I don't know if that's responsible parenting. And certainly that's the black end of potentially bad parenting. Well, this is the white side of it. And usually the white side of it is usually somewhat of a sexual molestation and or abuse. And it just absolutely, like, they should round these people up and kill them tomorrow at noon. Absolutely, some of the most horrific conditions they found. Was it 13 children?
16.
Oh my gosh!
16 children
Animals
that were they being sex trafficked? Were they being or just held in bad conditions?
They were just held in bad conditions. They didn't know how to. Like,
and are these fosters or these
it's
are
all 16 of their kids?
So between these people here, they had 16 kids in deplorable conditions.
Yes.
You know, he probably shouldn't have said that.
That kind of frank dialogue troubles me.
More of the Bubba the Love Sponge Show after this.
Local officials made this week were inappropriate. He referenced comments from Ohio Attorney General Andy Wilson, who compared conditions in that home to a, quote, third world country. He asked
1K, Lummy, we got him.
Right.
Yeah, we did.
There you go for
wait
Steve.
for the evidence to be presented in court.
He's entitled to his presumption of innocence and that his guilt must be proved beyond reasonable doubt. The state needs to prove that. The facts may bear out, or they may not. He may be found to be not guilty, or not competent, or himself a victim. So until we all know what's going on, I would ask the viewers out there to take a breath, take a step back, and let the process play out.
The attorney says he has not yet met with Siders Sr. because of the holiday. He says he's also been, we're hearing from...
So these kids were feral, meaning like they were animals.
Oh my
And they said the neighbors didn't even know there were kids in the house.
The kids could not speak. They lived in a 12 by 12 room. They aged from 18 months to 18 years. They were feral, meaning like...
They're wild animals.
Right.
That's insanity.
One of the investigators said that the children are limited. They can communicate, but it's extremely limited. Some kids can't communicate at all. They did not know who they belonged to, but they said it's an intra-family case, so that means probably incest, right?
Oh, yes.
Yep.
Ugh.
Oh.
Animals.
And this...
We're hearing from the attorney of Gary Siders Sr., who is one of the family members charged.
I'm not even going to play that video because this is just the defense attorney trying to make an excuse that his client might be fucking not guilty, so fuck him.
Yeah, good luck with that.
Yeah. Like this motherfucker right here.
How would you like to be that guy? How would you like to be that guy?
Or they may not. He may be found to be not guilty, or not competent, or himself a victim.
Oh, okay.
Oh, my
All right, get the fuck out of here, buddy.
Good luck.
Hey, relax. Stop, man. Shut the God damn.
A boy was arrested after beating up a younger boy, but the
So
reason
okay.
shocked everyone. The younger boy had lit his hair on fire as a prank. At the time, the older boy had his back turned. The younger boy came up behind him and set his hair on fire just for fun. The boy suddenly felt heat on his head and quickly used his hands to put out the flames. After realizing what happened, he immediately went over to ask who did it. When he found out it was the younger boy, he lost control and beat him up. After that, the younger boy's parents called police and the older boy was arrested. They said their child was only playing a simple prank and did not seriously hurt anyone. They also said if the older boy wanted compensation, they were willing to pay, but they argued that this still did not give them the right to attack their child. The arrested boy's parents disagreed. They said the whole thing started because the younger boy lit someone's hair on fire first. If that prank...
Boy, that's fucking crazy. I don't have time to go into that. I'm meant to go into tomorrow.
What is it?
So this fucking kid, look at this, Steve.
Mm-hmm.
This fucking kid, he's just, watch.
The boy was arrested after beating up a younger boy, but the reason...
So this one kid, he's standing there at the counter, right?
Right.
Well, the little younger boy comes and
Oh, my gosh.
lights his hair on fire. Right.
His hair on fire as a prank. At the time, the older boy had his back turned. The younger boy came up behind him and set his hair on fire just for fun. The boy suddenly felt heat on his head and quickly used his hands to put out the flames. After realizing what happened, he
So then he goes and beats the fucking kid's ass, which, you know, what?
over to ask who did it. When he found out it was the younger boy, he lost control and beat him up. After that, the younger boy's parents called police and the older boy was arrested. They said their child was only playing a simple prank and did not seriously hurt anyone. They also said if the older boy wanted compensation, they were willing to pay, but they argued that this still did not give them the right to attack their child. The arrested boy's parents disagreed. They said
So they arrested the guy who got caught on fire.
thing started because the younger boy lit someone's hair on fire first. If that prank had never happened, none of this would have followed. They said anyone would be furious if their hair was set on fire. They were willing to...
See, there's no more old school street justice where, you know, light my hair on fire, I'm gonna fucking find you and kick your ass.
Right.
I didn't hurt you, I just kicked your ass like the kids did.
Right.
And they fucking arrested the kid.
Tell me he got acquitted. Tell me he did not get acquitted.
In a country somewhere in the third world, the CIA is using this broadcast as torture to extract information about terrorists.
On your shoulders and legs, with Craig the Bulldog, your cardio, abs, calves.
He thinks Everett is doing his patriotic duty.
Oh, yeah, my pleasure, too.
You're listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show.
Thank you. We hit a G-ball for Stephen.
Yes.
Let me this next story. I'm going to run quickly because I want to get into the hair lighting story, but I don't know that we're going to have enough time. This story here, the authorities in Vinton County, Ohio, served a warrant on a guy named Gary Siders II for whatever reason. Once they got to his house, they found 16 kids ranging between 18 months old and 18 years old. They were pretty much all being held in a 12 by 12 room, which is about the size of Macho's area, if not less. And the kids were considered feral, meaning like animals. And they could barely, only a few of them could even talk. Most of them could not communicate. It was extremely limited. Some kids could not talk. And they're calling it a byproduct of incest. And one of the cops says it looked like a third world, and it's nothing that I'm ever used to seeing in America, and I cannot get the smell off of me.
That is so nasty.
The guy's facing almost 200 years in prison and 16 counts of child endangerment. Here are the 4 people. These are the 4. So it looks like maybe this woman and that man and this woman and that man.
Yep.
And the kids were described as feral. And then finally this story, which,
God damn!
A boy was arrested after beating up a younger boy, but the reason shocked everyone. The younger boy had lit his hair on fire as a prank. At the time, the older boy had his back turned. The younger boy came up behind him and set his hair on fire just for fun. The boy suddenly felt heat on his head and quickly used his hands to put out the flames. After realizing what happened, he immediately went over to ask who did it. When he found out it was the younger boy, he lost control and beat him up. After that, the younger boy's parents called police and the older boy was arrested. They said their child was only playing a simple prank and did not seriously hurt anyone. They also said if the older boy wanted compensation, they were willing to pay, but they argued that this still did not give him the right to attack their child. The arrested boy's parents disagreed. They said the whole thing started because the younger boy lit someone's hair on fire first. If that prank had...
If you're gonna interrupt, you got to have it there. You got to be ready.
Well, it's fake because the fire happened, but there was no arrest or beating because it happened in Mexico. And so they're taking a clip that happened and making another.
So they're taking a clip.
Mm.
They're taking a clip of a kid setting a kid's and then building a story around it that didn't happen.
Yes.
Well, Lummy, that's what you get paid the big bucks for. Is when I get bamboozled by AI or by some farm clickbait Willie.
But
that you're
the
there
kid's
to
hair did get lit on fire. That was real.
Old school wise, man. The older kid should have every right to whip the kid's ass.
And it looks like they started to fight, and the shop owner broke it up.
Fantastic. Thank you for stopping me, my friend. I was so far down the road, I was believing it. Me and Steve were full hot on the news.
He was getting Dr. Dan over here.
Gene Lasker tomorrow. Stephen, we appreciate you.
We appreciate you. Thanks for all the support for Diaco Law too, guys. Thank you, guys.
Thanks for letting me finish. You've been listening to the Bubba the Love Sponge Show, starring
me, Bubba the Love Sponge,
co-host and show historian, Lummit.
It's Brian Matroni, king of counter program.
Gene Lasker, voice of the people. Glad you get to hear me.
Gary Cantrell, video editor.
Yeah, back here wiring up. It's Mini Macho.
The BRN agent, Thomas Buttoned Up Bean.
Co-host, Dr. Dan Diaco, Esquire, of Council. Co-host, J. Diaco, Esquire, the Spitting Cobra, of Council.
Now, time for the legal disclaimer.
Exactly.
The Bubba the Love Sponge Show is intended solely for the enjoyment of our listening audience. Any rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of this show without express written consent of the Bubba Radio Network is prohibited.
We must dissuade him of this delusion.
Until next time, always remember.
I'll repeat hello.